What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good. Adam Vinatieri, at age 45, drills one from 57 yards out.
Was kept alive by Oladipo, and Sabonis with a left hand.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
All right, in on a Thursday, so it's Halloween 2019. It's been snowing on and off today, and that is where we are as we get ready to turn the page to November, and we have a crap ton to talk about. Kyle's over there. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Loaded show for you. Daenerys going to log on to this program coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so. Pacers get the first win of the season. Hey, listen, I thought I was right to call it a must-win. Must-win last night on the road, and I got bombarded with Miles Turner went out after he rolled his ankle, and that was good for the Pacers. It's not good for the Pacers. What was good for the Pacers is they hit some shots last night. What was good for the Pacers was they did play some defense last night. Oh, those parts were good. Jeremy Lamb played last night, scored 25. They did play. Listen, the whole thing about Miles you guys were sending me last night, they were up 10 points when Miles was still in there. So it was all going to be good anyway. That's the type of focus and play that you need. Maybe ultimately once Vic does come back, that is going to be the difference between what we have seen so far and really not liked a great deal to what separates this team from Vegas suggesting they're a 47-win team this year. Maybe he is going to be the difference. The more and more you watch Malcolm Brogdon, the more and more that you like him. Somebody sent me this a little bit earlier today, and I don't think it was this person that actually was asking the question, but whatever. It was a poll about, did I think that Domas Sabonis was better than Rick Smits? Rick Smits was really good. Now, it took a while. People were down on him at the beginning. People ripped on him much like they do Miles right now, for similar reasons as they do Miles right now. But he developed into a really good player. 6 seasons of averaging over 15 points a game, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, a part of the group that finally brought winning outside of the ABA to the Pacer organization here. I mean, it was all pretty special. It's going to be a long time to try to get better than that. As much as I like Domas, I mean, there's a lot of work to do. He's still working on it, still getting in the swing. I do like him. The one thing you do notice regarding both bigs is this. I know that they want to play them together, and I'm still about giving it time. You can still run them out there as starters, but as you go throughout the game, rotationally speaking, you can go small more times than not. That was what Brooklyn was doing last night. I did think that was a benefit, and I think it's going to be a benefit. I still like these guys playing together. I don't think they've been the biggest problem, especially offensively so far, but there are going to be moments when you're going to have to go smaller. It looked like that T.J. Warren fit a hell of a lot better last night than he had. Would you agree with that? So hopefully they're getting into it right now, and there is a lot to like regarding Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, that just is steady. And then when you say steady, non-spectacular, don't take that as a backhanded compliment. I'm not trying to sell anybody salve or anything here. It's for real. I mean, he looks to me like long-term here at that position, he fits as well as you would want anybody to fit. You agree? As well as you would want anybody to fit. And can't wait to see how it goes once Vic returns. So Pacers get on the board for 2019 and the 2020 campaign, and we'll talk about that. Chris Daenerys coming up in a couple of minutes, too. Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director, is going to call in coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, and I have a list to talk about with Fred Glass coming up. A lot of you have a lot of things you want me to ask. I asked you about that on Drop Off Line Sports this morning. We got some really good questions. Got the football program, winners of 6 games so far before the beginning of November. That hasn't happened in forever. Could be the best season for IU football. We'll see. Since 1993. There's a lot of hope. We're going to ask exactly how this game is selling coming up at 7 o'clock on Saturday at home against Northwestern. You know, Hoosier fans have asked for this. I mean, win, loss, wise. Listen, we know the schedule, but it's IU football, so who gives a damn, right? I mean, embrace it. How often do you get a chance to embrace it? So we'll talk to Fred about it. The state of the program, Tom Allen. We'll talk about the basketball program, Archie Miller, 0 for 2 in NCAA tournaments so far, going into year number 3, level of expectations, what ifs, money, NCAA rules in the future. Just a lot of stuff coming up. I also want to know, and he's probably listening right now, I want to know why everybody was all pissed off in Lincoln on Saturday, too. What did Nebraska folks, we ever find out what they said to piss everybody off over there? Well, that's kind of curious. Anybody ever find out? Anybody ever know? If I'm missing the boat on this, then somebody can let me know. I'm kind of curious about that. Fred's going to join us at 4 o'clock today. ATI guys at some point in studio. I'm trying to get these dads in here and on the way to trick-or-treating. Too late. Normally do this in the 6 o'clock hour. I want to move them up a little bit because of that. Mike Chappell is going to join us at about 5:30 today, and I can't wait for this. I don't know about anybody else, but I cannot wait to talk to the awesomeness that is. Are you ready? Actor, comedian, host. Bob Saget is going to join us coming up. I think he's scheduled a little bit after 5 o'clock today. We actually, and I didn't tell you this yesterday, we actually had scheduled this for yesterday. And he had some situations. I didn't tell anybody it was scheduled for yesterday. And they called today and said he's going to call in today a little bit after 5. And I said, man, whenever you can get Bob Saget on this show, I am down with it. Bob is going to be at Helium Comedy Club coming up tomorrow night and Saturday. And that is going to be some must-see stuff. I don't know if you know more about Bob Saget, for example, from Full House or from Entourage or from America's Funniest Home Videos. My man has been on every side of it. He has been the straight-laced, G-rated Full House Danny Tanner. And if you watched he played a very interesting character. It was himself. It was a parody of himself, an Entourage, which I thought was great. And he did some stand-up. He'll be doing stand-up coming up this weekend, but did stand-up I think back 07. I remember when this thing hit, his stand-up hit HBO, and everybody was just shocked about it. What? When Bob Saget was saying all this, I mean, it was some stuff right there. I mean, humor you would not necessarily before that associate with Bob Saget. I can't wait. Yeah, Bob's going to join us, hopefully around 5:10 or somewhere in that neighborhood. So we'll make sure that happens for you. I got Chainsmoker tickets as well coming up. We got a busy show. World Series Game 7. And once again, it lived up to the expectations, man. I love, and we talked about this the entire time, just signature moments, however small, however long ago in a season, or in this case, in a playoff setting, that are the moments that a team turned the corner and became championship worthy. And when you look back, and I know that the Nationals, they're 5-0 in elimination games. They were down in elimination games. We saw each team, no team won at home in this World Series. That is unfathomable in this era of sports, is it not? I mean, is it not? This era of sports, I mean, home field means everything. I whined about Colts getting home field in the divisional round of the postseason all summer long. I mean, just whine. You got to win this. You got to win that. You got to beat the Chargers, or you got to beat the Chiefs, or you got to beat them both. I mean, I just whined about it incessantly. And then you get to baseball, which once again, it proves just why baseball is so damn great. Not one home team wins. And if you're the Astros, I mean, you're built You are built as a powerful team. I know a lot of people have said, well, Washington is just a great team. While they're a World Series champion, I don't know about great team. They are so playing at the highest level in the moment, which right now is so important. And I don't want to use momentum. You can if you want, and I probably should. But, man, everything was going right. Even when they got down, it went right. Even when they were losing, they were winning. I mean, just what an amazing run this has been. And we saw it in that series. We saw it against the Cardinals. You saw it all the way back to the divisional round against the Dodgers. You saw it in that play-in game, the wild card game against the Brewers. And they did it against a who's who of top-shelf pitchers in Major League Baseball along the way. And then we also discovered just how great some of these guys are. If you didn't already know Anthony Rendon, if you didn't know Juan Soto, if you got reintroduced, some White Sox fans probably knew Adam Eaton if you got reintroduced to him. Howie Kendrick has been in the league forever. The dude is 36 years old, and all he does is stinking ball. How would you not love having that dude on your team? Just big moments. Yeah, Ryan Zimmerman. I was talking to Drew Storen yesterday on the show, if you missed it, because he's a former teammate there in Washington. Talked about Ryan Zimmerman, and I forgot he was on the team until the postseason. You go back to that Milwaukee game, he gets a broken bat single that was not as large, but close to as large as that Brewer era in right field that kind of opened up the floodgates. So now we all know and understand fully what the Nationals are. It's amazing. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. They're always, look back on championship years, there are always some holy crap, weird-ass moment that is the difference between winning and losing, where you end up winning. Mostly every single championship year. See, if you're talking about the Astros, I thought the Astros are built as the absolute full team, championship level team. It's just the Nationals right now can just out-clutch them. Out-clutch them. Last night was amazing. I can't be the only one. And I know Garrett Cole was pissed off sitting over there not going in. I wanted to see him go in too. As much as he wanted to go in, I wanted to see the dude go in. I mean, don't you have to trot him out there? And maybe it doesn't end well. Maybe it doesn't end well when you put your normal starter in there in a very unfamiliar relief role, but don't you have to try it? Especially if you kind of freak out if you're A.J. Hinch and you pull your starter who had been cruising after Rendon got him. I mean, it's like, holy crap, oh yeah, we got to go. We got to go get somebody else. Hold on. And you go get Will Harris, and Will Harris had just been lit up. Did you see the stats on Will Harris? He was lit up the night before in Game 6 and had not been touched throughout the postseason until that point. Game 6 and Game 7, everything for him came completely unraveled. That, my friends, is the awesomeness. Well, awesomeness from a Nationals standpoint, awesomeness from a fan, a viewer, a wanting drama in a great setting, great moment type of situation. But for those players, that has to suck. I mean, that dude was awesome up until Game 6 and Game 7, and now that's what you're going to know that dude for. Verlander has been awesome in his career. What is he going to be remembered for? World Series games? No, I take that back. His wife, World Series games. Clayton Kershaw, awesome career, Hall of Famer. What's he going to be noted for? In the postseason, absolute meltdowns. Remember, that's basically how everybody described Peyton Manning up until they finally cashed in Super Bowl 41. It is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Hey, go ahead and get Denary on here. I'm ready to go. Denary on the other side. We can talk a little MLB in the World Series. I'm going to miss it. I mean, it was so damn compelling. And I didn't have a damn rooting interest, but it was compelling. It's exactly what you want. So we'll bring that up, too. I mentioned Chris Denary, Brooklyn last night on the road. Pacers get their first win back at home tomorrow night versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you guys have been asking me about Dylan Windler, my friend from Belmont, Perry Meridian. I don't think he is ready as of yet. He's been kind of coming back from an injury. Nothing bad, but I saw him in some video in shoot-around after practice, so he looks like he's on the fast track. They didn't seem too concerned by it when I talked to him last. But that is Cavaliers and the Pacers coming up tomorrow night, which hopefully the Pacers can now string a couple of wins together and get even. You get Cleveland and you get the Bulls coming up back-to-back. Get even on the season, and see where you go from here. And make up for these first 9 I called so important that you blew the first 3. Last night was a good game. Last night was a big game. Finally giving you some fun. Denary, Fred Glass, ATI guys, Mike Chappell, and the awesomeness that is Bob Saget's going to join us a little bit later on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, Fox Sports Indiana. He's the voice of the Pacers. He is Chris Denary. You could hear in Malcolm Brogdon's voice the level of importance of finally getting that win. They were carrying that thing around their neck like a damn anvil, weren't they?
Well, they were. And I think all the Pacers fans were. I sort of got off of social media for a couple of days, after 3 games. And I know it was disappointing. They did not play the way that, they wanted to, nor did, maybe people's expectations. But, yeah, I thought it was big. And Brooklyn was sort of desperate, too, because they've got another home game, and then they're on the road for 5 straight and 9 of 13. So that was a big game. And I just thought the way they responded, they got out to that early lead, gave up the lead. Brooklyn had the lead at the half, and then to sort of fight through that third quarter, I think we've seen a lot better defense than we saw in the first few games, especially the last 2. And so, it was a big win, a very impressive win to see the 3 newcomers especially, Brogdon, Lamb, and Warren put up the numbers that they put up. I think that's the type of offense we've been expecting to see that we haven't seen through the first few games. But again, let's remember, Jeremy Lamb did not play in the first 2 games of that road trip. And no disrespect to Edmund Sumner, but Jeremy Lamb is a guy who can score. And the Pacers have needed that scoring at the 2-guard position without Victor Oladipo. And most definitely Jeremy delivered last night.
It's Chris Denary on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Yeah, and I know that he's missed the last 2 games, and that was a big deal too. The sense of urgency is what, and we'll get to the point where they were up 10, and then Miles went out and twisted his ankle, rolled his ankle. Now he's week to week, but they were still up 10 at that point. But it seems to me like there is going to be certainly many a place and many a time to go small, where I think we both like and still want to see more about playing the 2 bigs, Chris, together. But there are going to be often times when you're going to have to match up. And I thought last night was one of those nights when you absolutely had to do that. So when Miles went out, it set him up for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you've watched Brooklyn here in the first week, they got beat the other night in overtime in Memphis, and they went small just as we saw last night. They played Taurean Prince at the 5 and Joe Harris at the 4. And that's what they tried to do late, but they had they had not a chance to guard Sabonis in the post. And I thought that was the great recognition that the Pacers had was, making sure that you had Sabonis down in the paint. And then that created some openings out on the perimeter. I mean, Brogdon hit the deep 3, and that's all because of the spacing, all because they couldn't deal with Sabonis. So, yeah, I think the one thing that we've seen, and we saw it in the preseason, this team can play multiple ways. Now, with the injury to Turner and, the timetable that we don't know when he'll be back, it will offer the Pacers an opportunity to do some different things now. But I think you want as much flexibility as possible because that's what the league breeds, flexibility. Different teams play different ways during different parts of the game.
So Chris Denary with us. Miles is listed as week to week. What are the expectations when we might see him return?
Wow, I don't know. I mean, that's, when you hear week to week, that worries you just from the standpoint that you don't know when he'll be back. I mean, if it's day to day or game to game, then you've got a chance. But if they're saying week to week, that means at some point they'll evaluate him next week. But, he's a guy that wants to be out on the floor. He's battled through injuries before. Remember, as a rookie, he had a hand injury. that's why you try to build as much depth as you can, and that's why it's important to have two big guys like Sabonis and Turner, and then add in the young guy, Goga Batadze. I thought last night, the game is so fast right now, and I'm sure Goga is spinning, but I still thought he gave you a very valuable 8 minutes off the bench that you needed to give Sabonis the rest.
So, Kristen Airy on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Where's Aaron Holiday in all this? Has he played himself, worked himself back into the rotation after a couple of game hiatus?
Well, I think so, and I don't know if we've seen anything on Edmund Sumner yet. What the severity of that hand injury is, but he missed yesterday's game, and he's probably on a game-to-game or whatever basis. So if that's the case, without Victor Oladipo, you need another wing, and Aaron is a guy that's got to step in. At times, I think he looks more comfortable playing off the ball. He's sort of a two-guard in a one-guard's body. If he and T.J. McConnell are paired together, I like it. It's small, but you got the feistiness of McConnell, and I thought Aaron did some good things last night. He hit the three, didn't shoot it well, but he made a big pass to Justin Holiday when his brother, when the Pacers were only up 4. That was a huge play, and if you remember, that came after the coach's challenge that Nate McMillan won. That turned out to be a very critical play in the game, and Aaron was a part of that, finding his brother in the corner.
It's Kristen Airy, Fox Sports Indiana. Again, coming up tomorrow night, Cavaliers in town, and the Pacers hook up with the Cavs, 6:30 for the Pacer pregame with JJ and Chris and Eddie Gill and Quinn Buckner coming up tomorrow evening from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All right, going back to last year and what you liked about that team and that makeup, and since there have been such a transition in faces on this team, what do you think so far this year has been the biggest missing piece?
Well, I think for me it's a little hard to judge just because through the first 4 games you had a lot of moving parts. But I'll say this. I think we all know that this team was not going to be as good defensively as it was a year ago because you've taken away Thaddeus Young, and Bojan Bogdanovic, who came to the Pacers a couple of years ago, was not revered as a defensive player. And then all of a sudden he was guarding LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard and all those. So what I've seen, though, is just in the short sample size in the last week, I have seen improvement. Look at T.J. Warren. Last night, diving on the floor, creating an offensive foul, doing some things that, quite honestly, he was not asked to do at Phoenix. And so that is something that you've got to adapt to. I have a lot of confidence in this coaching staff that they can take so-so or mediocre defenders and make them good defenders. They don't have to be great defenders, but they just need to be good defenders. And so clearly the ability – they still have to do a better job, John, of defending the dribble. Now, if you look at last night's game, that's exactly what Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie are the best at, breaking you down on the dribble. Kyrie Irving's one of the best in the league at breaking you down on the dribble. And without Miles Turner, you're not going to have the rim protection that you normally have. So upcoming, the Pacers are really going to have to concentrate out on the perimeter of doing a good job of shutting that down, because as good a center as Domantas Sabonis is, or a 4 or a 5 or whatever you want to call him, he's not going to protect the rim like Miles Turner. So it's going to put a little bit more pressure on the defenders out on the wing to do a better job.
Gotcha. That's Chris. I'd said all this week that I thought Thaddeus was the biggest missing piece. His whole leadership, his guidance, and because everything is so new and everybody looks so discombobulated, and then obviously his defensive presence, I thought was the biggest missing piece early on this season.
Yeah, there's no question. And if you look at it, and I referenced this on the last couple of telecasts, think about 2 years ago, when Thaddeus was the holdover with Miles Turner, and they had so many new faces: Collison, Joseph, Bogdanovic, Oladipo, Sabonis. There's 5 right there. They got off to a tough start. They were under 500 through the first 14 or 15 games. And so it takes a while. You heard Kenny Atkinson after the game last night talking about the newness of his team. And really, if you go throughout the league right now, when 40% of the rosters change and a lot of the teams have added anywhere from 5 or 6 to 9 or 10 new players, it's just going to take teams a little bit of work to get going. I think Jeremiah Johnson told me, and I don't know if he shared it with you when he was on, when you look at an NBA schedule, the first 3 to 5 games are probably equal to one NFL game, right? Because there are 82 NBA games, there are 16 NFL games. So really for every 5 games, that equals one in the NFL. So through 2 or 3 games, it's really about a half or 3/4 of an NFL game. And so I think people tend to overreact at times to what they see. And I think it's a feeling out process in the league right now. John, I quite frankly think there's as much parity in the NBA right now as we've seen in a number of years. You've already seen Phoenix, who's supposed to be a bottom feeder in the West, pull off some pretty impressive wins. So I think I told you during the summer, I thought it's going to be a really cool year to dial up League Pass on a night-to-night basis, and I'm fully on board with that because I think there are a lot of good teams out there, and there are going to be some good teams that don't have good records because simple math tells you when you have a 30-team league, there's going to be some teams that just don't have good records, but I think on a night-to-night basis they could beat you.
I'll tell you this, what's going on in Golden State, what they're already missing, now what they're missing, man, that is big time right there with Steph Curry and that hand last night. Crazy stuff, really is.
Yeah. Can you believe that what's happened at the end of last year? They lose Durant, and then they lose him. They lose Klay Thompson, and then last night Steph Curry, and they're throwing out a roster around Draymond Green.
Yeah,
that
GR3's a starter out there now.
I mean, you and I love basketball, and we follow the NBA, but there aren't a lot of guys on that roster right now you know or you've heard of. I mean, they've got a lot of rookies and that type of thing. So just tells you how you really have to embrace the moment, enjoy the moment, because you never know when it can flip the other way.
That's Denary on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Chris and Quinn, JJ, Eddie Gill coming at you tomorrow night, 6:30 for Pacers pregame. And they'll get you set for the Cavaliers and the Pacers tomorrow night for Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks.
It's Chris Denary on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick break, top of the hour. IU Athletic Director Fred Glass will join us. ATI guys, latter part of the 4. Mike Chappell. We're going to talk a little bit about T.Y. Hilton. There's a lot of rumblings going around in social media and on Twitter. Have you seen those regarding the situation with T.Y. Hilton? No. If there's a situation with T.Y. Hilton. If there's a situation with T.Y. Hilton where you could miss a game. And some people are suggesting longer. We'll dive into that a little bit coming up, too. And Bob Saget, the greatness that is Bob Saget, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Back with you next.
Football is kicking into high gear. Pro basketball is finally here. College hoops right around the corner. Does it get any better? Well, guess what? It sure can. Now that sports betting is legal in Indiana with DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. They have great promotions running all month long. Right now, DraftKings is running a special Indiana promo. Place a risk-free bet on Indiana, Purdue, or Notre Dame to win this weekend up to $25. Don't forget the DraftKings Sportsbook app has in-game betting, so you can bet on the games while they're happening. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code WFNI when you sign up. Limited time, all new and existing users can get a deposit bonus up to $500. Use the code WFNI to get your deposit bonus up to $500. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Indiana only. Restrictions apply. See website for details. Deposit bonus requires 25 times play through. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. DraftKings.com.
Hey, golf friends, it's JMV here to tell you all about the 27th year anniversary membership special at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin, and I love it. For only $89 a year with a $10 per year administrative fee, you can get a 2-year anniversary membership at the Legends Golf Club and enjoy unlimited golf Monday through Friday. For an extra $50 per year, you can play 7 days a week. Enjoy golf at the Legends Golf Club in the 2021 seasons for only $89 per year. There's never been a better deal from a better golf course in and around Indy. I know from my personal experience. I love it. You must call today. Tell Ted that I sent you too, by the way. The Legends Golf Club, 317-736-8186. That's 317-736-8186. Call the Legends Golf Club before this deal ends. If you love golf, you're going to love this. 317-736-8186. The Legends Golf Club in Franklin.
Hey, it's Brian from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg. I'm here with our spokesperson, Rob Belushi.
Brian, I'm no photographer, but I can picture us together.
It must be truck month because you're trying out your pickup lines?
Yeah, it's truck month, and on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 9, and this truck is the one you need.
Or how about I just tell them about the deals? This month, you can save up to 27% off F-150s and up to 20% on all new Fords.
Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I drive by again in my new F-150?
Rob, I'm married.
But are you happy?
Rob, stop. Talk about our 170 pre-owned vehicles with 1.9% for 60 months.
That's a lot of pre-owned vehicles to choose from, and 27% off is a great deal on a truck.
If I was a truck, I'd need some coolant because truck month has my engine overheating.
Ew, Brian. Nobody falls for pickup lines. Fall in love with pickup trucks during truck month at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and see why Indianapolis rates us #1 in customer service.
You broke my heart, Rob.
Okay, it's almost opening time. Got to email over photos of this season's line.
As a business owner, you've got a million things to think about.
Can't forget about that video conference later.
Dealing with second-rate cable internet shouldn't be one of them.
But I did switch to AT&T Internet for Business with integrated broadband and wireless connection, so I've got this.
AT&T Internet for Business is designed for business, with an integrated network that gives you 99.9% reliability, so you can focus on running your business.
Really need to update the website and figure out whatever that was.
And even if the power suddenly goes out, or if a construction worker accidentally cuts your cable line, AT&T Internet Backup automatically has you covered, so your business stays one step ahead.
All right, it's go time.
Choose fast, highly reliable AT&T Internet for Business today and get a $100 AT&T Visa reward card. Go to att.com/business internet or call 855-433-5700 to take advantage of this offer today. The AT&T Visa reward card is issued by the Bancorp Bank pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. and can be used everywhere Visa debit cards are accepted in the United States, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. No cash access. The Bancorp Bank, member FDIC.
Is your business still settling for slow internet? Well, time is money. Switch to Comcast Business now and get a great deal on fast, reliable internet. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, installation when it works for you, and 24/7 customer support, it's time to take your business beyond. Right now, get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Plus, we offer solutions like powerful Wi-Fi that thinks about what customers want, and automatic internet backup that can keep your business running. So what are you waiting for? Get the internet your business really needs. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 11/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Here's a quick rundown of what's going on at Arby's every day from 2 to 5 p.m. and after 9 p.m. Each of our sliders are $1. The warm cookies are $1. The soda is $1. The shakes $1. The parking free. The drive-thru paved. The curly fries $1. The ketchup all you can eat. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
The Ride with JMV.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Thank you very much, sir.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, Halloween re-entries. Ozzy Osbourne, Bark at the Moon. Kyle's here. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. Halloween's going to be interesting. How many out there are going to be leading the kids around tonight? And it's going to be freezing and raining and maybe snowing and whatever. Halloween 2019, everybody. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV, what a World Series. I could watch 7 more. I didn't want it to end. I mean, you have to have a resolution to it. But I didn't want it to end. It was that great. We want the sports compelling. There's a reason why you're hanging up until midnight or after. watching that stuff, and that gave it to you. It did. It's unbelievable to me that a team did not win at home in a 7-game series in the World Series. Incredible. JMV, if Sabonis continues this play, can he be an MVP candidate if we're a top seed in the East, 23-10 right now? Is he at 23-10 right now? And if so, does it make Miles expendable? It's from Mike Austin. Mike, I would say no, because I don't think he's going to keep up that pace, and I don't think they're going to make any type of decision like that this year, to be honest. It may come after this year, but it's not going to be this year, if that makes sense to you. Hey, JMV, I was one of those guys saying heck no regarding Tyler Hero. I even compared him to TJ Leaf and called him an unathletic white dude. All the hate I threw towards him, I had to eat. I wish he was in the blue and gold right now. Guy's a raw scorer, and Pritchard was on to something there. He has looked really good for the Heat so far. He put up a 29-point effort, I think, the other night, too. Jennifer says, it is snowing to beat the band right now here in Zionsville. That do stink. JMV, it's from Matt. Any inside news on the TY thing? And the reason why this came to me is everybody on the internet's kind of freaking out right now about T.Y. Hilton. Now, it's a lot of people, correct me wrong, that are freaking out that are completely outside of this area. But he didn't participate today with a calf. He was limited yesterday. And from what I'm told, it's more of a weekly thing than it is a yearly thing. I think people that are just yapping about it right now are talking about it being longer than that, but I haven't found any evidence to that to this point. We'll talk to Chappell about that coming up at 5:30. Or they released the injury report, and there's probably going to be some Q&A here at the top of the hour, and I'm sure people will ask about that. It's from Sean Millard. Are you going to be hanging adult beverages out while you hand out candy? Nah, I don't know what even we're going to do. It used to be so easy. We used to go over there and go to Mount Pleasant, and I'd go sit on the bleachers, and and I don't think they're doing it this year, so I may have to go outside, and everything's just screwed up. Gary Bowe writes this: awesome watching Domas abusing anyone and everyone in the post last night, and he was taking on all comers. He was. DeAndre Jordan got a little bit. The skinny, what's his name, dude, got a little bit last night. They were all getting a little piece of it. He was taking no prisoners in that post. There is no doubt about it. No prisoners, and that's what everybody likes. Knocked out a couple of threes. I'm telling you, if that could become a common occurrence, that changes the dynamic completely right there. It does. If that can become common. Couple of threes, but man, he was abusing folks on the interior. Great. JMV, did you get Reese Cups or Hershey Minis for the treat? Hershey Minis is what I go with because we don't normally have very many, and I love Hershey Minis. I'm a big peanut butter and chocolate dude, but Hershey Minis are just kind of easy, right? Just pop them out of the package, boom, go. Little squares working. Hey, JMV, guessing in your neighbor about a 2-minute walk between houses so you enjoy taking the kids around tonight. What a good dad. Ah, man, I think they want to go to Bargersville or something. Come on. JMV, is Warren turning into a go-to scorer? I think they want him to be that type of guy. He's just been so damn discombobulated so far. And you would expect it. I mean, 3 games in, he looked good last night. And he certainly looks a hell of a lot better with only 1 big on the floor than with 2, right? Anybody catch that last night? He looks a lot better with 1 big on the floor than 2. That is why you can still start these guys and play them, but there are going to be points when you're going to have to adjust and do things like that. And I don't have a problem with it. Listen, I don't care. Whatever they're productive in doing is fine with me. But you saw that last night. It was weird. We were talking about this earlier. Kyrie Irving played how many minutes last night, Kyle? And he was basically scoring at will. He didn't play as much as I thought. And listen, for example, Kawhi Leonard did not even play in Utah last night because of rest. I mean, he's getting rest. They've only played 3 games. He's already resting. But we know how that works. See, I told you last year that because of the way Toronto handled that and how it worked out for Toronto, that this is going to become more and more of the norm. What hasn't been the norm is the fact that the Pacers are playing everybody heavy minutes. But on the other hand, if you don't play them heavy minutes, how do you expect them to get to know one another? There's just way damn too many faces not to go that deep. Plus, your bench has been horrible. Finally got a little action there. Jeremy Lamb was huge last night. How many minutes did Irving play?
He only played 31 minutes. He had 28 points in those minutes.
Yeah, he was kind of scoring at will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, DeAndre Jordan had nothing for Domas Sabonis last night. 0. Hey, JMV, you were talking yesterday about the zipper method used in traffic. I was wondering if you've ever zipped up your pork and beans. Cole, no. Now, you may only know that reference if you've seen Something About Mary, and no, I have. I find it incredibly impossible, right? There's no way you don't know. Hey, oh, by the way, I don't know. My head's in a guillotine. I had no idea. I mean, you don't know. You don't. There's just no way. There's no way you don't know that that's about to take place. And while it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious, Ben Stiller, funny. Film, Fairley Brothers, funny. There's no way in the world that could ever happen unless you are the biggest moron in the history of morons. No way. None. That was a solid question, though, Cole. Thank you. Mike Chappell. We'll talk more about T.Y. Hilton a little bit later on in the show. Find out at the top of the hour those that did practice today and those that didn't, and probably get some Q&A and some answers to those questions out at the Colts complex a little bit later on. ATI guys coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Fred Glass, IU athletic director, top of the 4, and Bob Saget, actor, comedian, host. And one of the listen, when they said he wants to come on the show, I was all in. 5:10 for Bob Saget. Can't wait for that. He's at Helium Comedy Club this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Back with you next.
Join JMV at JMV Sucks, but his concert doesn't, featuring Yacht Rock Review, Friday, January 10th at the Mirage. Listen to JMV this week for your chance to win a pair.
Hey, it's PAIWeGrowHairIndy.com. How many of you out there would like to get your real growing hair again? How many of you out there would like it, but you're concerned that it's going to make you look vain? No, you don't. Not vain. You have options. I mean, if you want options, and I think we all do want options in life, why not take this one too? PRP, platelet-rich plasma. It works. It does serve as a regrowth for your hair. If you've got a dormant spot, meaning a bald spot, thinning hair, receding hairline, it all works for you. 888-724-5129. Darren Andrews with a private consultation online. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever, 99 cents, plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pods sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
Hey, Connecticut Water, the absolute best water out there. And Joe, John, and Dennis give you a great deal. Are you ready? If you don't have Connecticut, now is the time to get it. Here's why. Because you buy the Premier Series water softener, and they will give you a K5 in-home drinking water system absolutely free. You cannot beat this deal. Thank you, Joe, John, and Dennis, and my friends at Connecticut. The 2 locations, Northeast Side, Castleton, South Side, US 31, Southport Road online, ConnecticutIndy.com today.
According to the betting market, the Arizona Cardinals are in for a Halloween scare against Nick Bosa and the 49ers tonight. With this Bet Indiana News Update, I'm Kevin Bowen. San Francisco opened up as an 8.5-point favorite for the Week 9 Thursday nighter before a steady stream of bets pushed the point spread up to 10. Covering that number may be a tall order for the Niners, though, who have lost 8 straight at Arizona. But San Fran has been one of the NFL's best stories this season, winning their first 7 games and going 5-2 against the spread. The Cardinals may have something going of their own in the first year of the Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray era. They've won 3 in a row before last week's trip to New Orleans and are profitable 5-3 against the spread this season. Tonight's total is 43, and here's a trend for gamblers to contemplate. The under is 19-6 in primetime games this season. That is a 76% hit rate. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
Retirement. That one word can really put a smile on my face. And with Anthem Medicare, I'm going to keep my smile shining as bright as ever. I have to. Think of all that my smile has done for me. It's been with me in the best of times and has gotten me through the hardest of times. I've shared it with close friends and used it to make new friends. I've put effort into my smile with regular teeth cleanings because I can't imagine a life without it. So, for my next phase, Medicare, being able to keep my smile in check is important to me.
Anthem has plans that include benefits that other plans don't, including dental, vision, and hearing. Knowing you could keep your smile shining, that's the benefit of Medicare from Anthem. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies, Inc. Anthem is a Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Anthem depends on contract renewal.
Andy Moore Toyota, it's in Avon, and it's 5 miles west of 465. It is on US 36. Hello, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, listen, I'm just here to tell you right now where to go for the best treatment, where to go for the best deals, best pricing, best everything. That's Ben Mendoza and the gang at Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. So you know what you're going to get from them. So prepare to go over and meet them, but first things first, know what you want, or at least have in mind what you want. So eyeball it online, AndyMooreToyota.com, and then go talk to Ben Mendoza and the staff about what you want and have them get you in that easy. I mean, it is hassle-free, and you'll love the car buying experience at Indiana's best. Andy Moore Toyota in Avon. It's 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com, offering competitive odds on game lines, futures, and prop bets. With 50-plus in-game bets on pro football games. Make bets while the game is being played, like who will score next, how will the current drive finish. You will earn rewards for every bet you place with our innovative loyalty program. Sign up now. We'll match your first deposit up to $250 using one of our 12 deposit methods. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Must be 21 or over to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Playable only in Indiana.
With Golden Oak Lending's low mortgage rates, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Your Colts tickets are waiting. Be there November 10th as Dwight Freeney is inducted into the Ring of Honor. Get your Colts versus Dolphins tickets today at Colts.com/tickets. The Ride with JMV.
Nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down cause my
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, Halloween for you. This is a must. You're going to turn this up a little bit over there, Kyle, wouldn't you? This was a part of the JMV takeover last Saturday night over on B. Can't go without the Freaks Come Out at Night by Houdini on Halloween. Saw these guys live back in '87. I was at a Fresh Fest. And when Chuck D came out there with Public Enemy, and he had the S1Ws, and they were all doing what they normally do. And, you know, here I am with all my GC friends, and we're down there in the 7th row going, oh, okay. And when he said, you know what, I celebrate all our brothers in the audience, our black brothers, our white brothers. Oh, yeah. I love me some Chuck D. Those were tell you what, Fresh Fest were so awesome back in the day. Market Square Arena. Even though Run DMC didn't show up, thanks a lot. It was a good time. Chuck D's been on this show before, too. He's one of the better guests of all time here. Top of the hour, Fred Glass. All you need to know about the state of everything going on in athletics down at IU. He is the athletic director, and he is going to join us coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. ATI guys, we'll move them up about an hour because they want to get out with the kids and trick or treat. I respect that. Before 5 for them, Mike Chappell. We'll get the latest on T.Y. Hilton and why everybody's freaking out on the internet about him right now. Mike's going to join us at about 5:30. Bob Saget, actor, comedian, host, and he's going to be at Helium Comedy Club. It's tomorrow night and Saturday. That dude is hilarious. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like the entourage kind of over-the-top, dirty version of Saget. I do. Over the Danny Tanner Full House Saget. Anybody else? Agreed. Hey, JMV, when Houston lost in Game 7, I want to know who's your favorite to win it next year. Well, of course, my favorite resides in Cincinnati. See? Yes. Who do I want to win it every year? I mean, who is my favorite? First of all, I mean, you look in the division, you look in the National League Central, it should be strong. As strong as ever. I mean, you changed at the top, the manager. You're going to change some players with the Cubs. I would expect Milwaukee to be back and strong again. I don't think Houston. I don't think St. Louis is going to go anywhere. It is going to be loaded. We'll see what happens in Washington with Anthony Rendon. Via free agency, made himself a buttload of cash. If they want to pay him that, I would. Calm, cool, and collected. I mean, big game moments, and my man's not sweating. Not a drop. How is that? Not a drop. But he was really impressive. And I loved it. I'm sorry if Mike Greenberg doesn't want to stay up until past midnight and baseball's unrecognizable than back in the day or whatever. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, no, that's what there are many more teams. I'm telling you what, though, the Central's going to be strong. It is. JMV, I think we're all going to like TJ Warren the more and more we see him and he plays with the other dudes. And maybe that's the chief reason as to why these guys are playing these heavy minutes, because you got to get these guys acclimated to one another, right? I mean, hell, if I know Kawhi's new to the Clippers, but he's Kawhi Leonard. So I told you the whole rest thing is going to prove to be even larger as we move forward here. Make no mistake about that. Donk is at 239-1070. Donk, you on board here with me on this Halloween? What's happening?
Damn right it's a donk. And let me tell you, I am awfully upset, dude. John, tell me why the hell Doug McDermott is playing 32 minutes and only shooting 4 shots. The dude can't guard my mom. Now, 2 days ago, you took a poll that said that 75% of your callers wanted Sabonis come back off the bench. 100% of those 75% are dumbasses. They don't know what they're talking about. Man, now we've lost Turner. Dude, what are we going to do? We have one trading spot, and you know who I'm talking about. Let's get rid of that poser, Victor Oladipo, get a 4 and get a 3, and let's go.
Donk, you're crazy. Bark at the moon, Donk. It's crazy talk. Why is Doug McDermott playing 32? I mean, who else is going to play 32? I mean, he was 2 of 4, 2 of 3 from 3. That's a good night for Doug McDermott. I would take 6 points and 2 or 3 from distance from McDermott. I'd take that. I agree with that. Nah, man, Vic's going to slide in, and then somebody goes to the bench, and, hopefully Lamb. I hope we saw last night from Jeremy Lamb the possibilities moving forward. I hope we saw that. Now, I'm still incredibly interested to see how Vic fits in. Donk's mom must be really good. I think Doug McDermott might be able to check Donk's mom. Would you agree? Unless Donk's mom's really good. I don't know. I've never seen Donk's mom play. But I got a feeling McDermott could check her. Hey, JMV, happy Halloween. This is nightmarish for me right here. We usually get over 300 kids. 300 trick-or-treating at our house every year. It's the best night of the year. They better show up tonight because we have 2,000 pieces of candy. My man Mike in Beach Grove, that is some dedication. 300 kids. Hey, what's the age limit? When do you go, hey, no, you don't get anything? Is it 12 and above? If you're 12 and above, you don't get anything, do you?
Yeah, I think
13 and above. Once you turn teenager, you don't get anything.
Yeah, once you're in 7th grade, I think you're done.
I'd agree with that, too. So Blake can stay home tonight. Not going anywhere. All right, quick one. We'll come back. After the donk, yes, we got to have IU Athletic Director Fred Glass on everything, the state of programs, the state of athletics, everything you need to know. Fred Glass joins us other side next.
Thursday night football, and it's an NFC West showdown between the up-and-coming Cardinals and the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. Steve Barry from the Sports Plus Network. What do we think about this matchup?
Well, Joey, this is going to be a little more interesting than the last two primetime games, which had huge lines. I mean, the line in this game is also large. San Fran laying 10 at Arizona. Total's 42.5. Everyone knows San Fran coming in at 7-0. They just pounded Carolina 51-13. Arizona's had an up-and-down season. They dropped a few. They won 3 in a row, and then New Orleans took care of their winning streak 31-9 last week. They're coming in at 3-4-1 with that one tie against Detroit. This is the kickoff of Week 9. San Francisco, as I said, coming off a convincing win over Carolina. They do remain unbeaten. Arizona's a weird team. They have they have a rookie coach. They have a rookie quarterback. They're very hard to pin down, but we have some information on this game. And guys, whether you're coming off a great week like us or not, we have the answer tonight. It's 1-888-895-6555. San Francisco, Arizona winner for free from Sports Plus Network. If you haven't called us before, do yourself and your wallet a huge favor. The call is free. The winner is free. Your profits are free. Once again, it's 1-888-895-6555. San Francisco, Arizona winner at no charge from Sports Plus.
Steve, one of the things about San Francisco that people are talking about is the schedule's just been kind of meh so far. How does that play into the line in a game like this?
Well, what the line makers do is they're looking sometimes at the last game. Arizona got pounded in the last game. San Francisco pounded Carolina. Thereby comes the 10-point line. But watch out for big lines. I've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. The last two times it's happened, the Dogs barely covered the game, made the game very, very scary for certain people. Guys, so far this year, we're 7-2 with the free plays we've given out. Do yourself a favor. Make the call. 1-888-895-6555. Guys, I'm sure you're going to place a wager on tonight's matchup. We will provide you with the correct investment information at no charge just to get you off on the right foot with us. I'm sure you will call us back in the future to say thank you. Make the call. We'll tell you what the winning move is and why. That's the most important part. It's a no-lose situation. It's 1-888-895-6555. San Francisco, Arizona winner at no charge from Sports Plus Network. Make the call, guys. You will call us back in the future. 1-888-895-6555.
Hey, let us talk about the greatest car wrecks locations throughout central Indiana. And now's the warning bell. An alarm is going off saying, yeah, you know what? The car, truck, or van needs to be ready For the cold winter months ahead, that's where you take it into CarX right now. Place for brakes, and right now they got some great deals going on. Are you ready for the place for brakes right now? New brake pads, $79.99 per axle on most vehicles at CarX, and that includes installation. $79 brake pads, CarX. So remember, when you need brakes, that is the place. The Joe Childers run CarX locations throughout central Indiana. That's what you want. I'm telling you, people you can trust. Great deals, warranties, pricing, timely service. It is awesome. Tell them I sent you for the absolute best for your car, truck, or van. Make it CarX today.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
This week, be sure to listen to JMV as he'll be giving away a pair of Chainsmokers tickets each day leading up to their show, November 7th at Bankers Live Fieldhouse. Listen and call in.
This is Indy Sports Center.
WFNI, WIBC, HD2,
W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Hey, join me tomorrow. We got a monster. Doug Kazarian from the Daily Wager on ESPN is going to set you up. Vince is going to handicap the Breeders' Cup. Ben Banagoo of the Colts joins us. A monster tomorrow, noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV.
Can I buy you guys a drink? Guess not.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, Mike Chappell coming up at the 5 o'clock hour. We'll talk Colts and Steelers. And latest on T.Y. Hilton coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. ATI guys coming up a little bit later on. Bob Saget, who's going to be in town Friday and Saturday. Helium Comedy Club downtown, scheduled to call in coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Whiskey Business. Bud Light Blue Friday tomorrow. We got Dolphins Colts tickets for you off of Pendleton Pike at Whiskey Business. Be there tomorrow on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. He is the Director of Athletics at Indiana University. He is Fred Glass. Hello, Fred. How are you?
Well, John, I'm excited to be on the show, and I'm excited but nervous because I'm excited because I kind of feel like I'm getting ready to open for Bob Saget, which is cool. I'll put that on my resume.
Have you ever opened for Bob Saget before? Never?
I haven't even opened for you. I'd probably open for you first, then Saget. But I also heard on your opening you got a bunch of questions for me, so I'm nervous. I'm not sure I'm prepared.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
I'm looking forward to visiting with you, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right. The first thing I want to ask, and I knew that you were listening earlier. The first thing I want to ask, why were you guys all upset about what Nebraska did? What did they do to get you guys upset and motivated on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not gonna, kind of go over that in detail, but they know what was said, and we know what was said, and it fueled our guys, and it made it all the sweeter to go in there into Lincoln. 90,000 people get probably the most important win, undoubtedly the most important win in the Allen era, get bowl eligibility, and kind of stick it back to those guys all at the same time. So it's a very satisfying win.
Can you tell us who said it?
I'm just not going to start down that slippery slope.
Were they very important people? Were they very important people?
I would say they're authorized representatives of their football program. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Was it the head coach? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got to ask. I just want to know. Yeah.
No, I'm just going to look. I know inquiring minds want to know, but I'm just going to leave it there. They got what they wanted to play Indiana, and we got what we wanted, which was to go over there and kick their ass.
It's Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director. Is there anybody I can ask that will tell me besides you? Who else was on the trip? I need to know.
Yeah. I'm just going to leave it there.
All right, then. All right. That's Fred Glass with us. All right, back to the football program. Bowl eligible, 6 wins for the first time in forever before the start of November. Is this your vision of Tom Allen and the lead football program coming together right now?
Yeah, at this point, I'm not going to dance in the end zone now. This is the first step. It's an important brick in the wall. We have higher aspirations. But John, you talk about forever. We've qualified. This is kind of a pitiful thing, but we've qualified for four bowl games in 26 years. Let that sink in a little bit. 4 bowl games in 26 years. But the good news is 3 of those 4 have been in the last 5 years. And the 2 we didn't make it in the middle. We had 5 going into the last weekend and lost by a touchdown. So again, we have bigger aspirations than bowl eligibility, but I think constantly going to a bowl would be an important step for this program. And I think that's what we're getting ready. That's where we're getting ready to be.
What most impresses you about your football coach and Tom Allen?
Wow, that's a great question because I think he's an impressive guy across the board. I think the way he connects with his players, those guys believe in him. They believe that he cares about them as young men. Number one, that he knows the game and can make them better. Number two, and that's a powerful combination. I mean, if the kids believe that you care about them and they know that you know what you're doing and you can make them better, that's a super powerful combination. And so I'm, real enthusiastic about Tom. This is what I saw from him when I early on. I thought, if Kevin moved on, perhaps because he got what he perceived to be a better job or went to North Carolina or whatever, I had identified Tom early as the guy I wanted to lead in this program. And I didn't find him at the water cooler or at the coffee machine like some folks suggested. He was a guy I saw up close, and he'd been on a job interview for a long time, and I was confident in getting him, and I think he's starting to show what he can do.
So Fred Glass, he is the IU AD on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Are we nearing extension time for Tom Allen, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I sort of showed a little leg on that before the season that I was trying to put some money in my cookie jar for that. And I'm not saying that because we hit the magic number 6 wins. I don't know how your listeners feel about this, but I'd be wanting to do the extension if we got stuck at 5 wins because the ball bounced the wrong way or something, because I believe in him. Listen to this, John. 80 of our 115 guys on the football team are either freshmen or sophomores. And those are from the 2 best recruiting classes in the history of Indiana football. We got the 4 of the top 6 kids out of Indiana last year. We've been getting Mr. Footballs from Indiana. We were heavy from Florida and Georgia, his SEC recruiting roots. Michael Penix is going to be a star. Watt Filer is going to be a star. I mean, I believe in this team independent of the, raw data of how many wins you get. Now, they're important, and I get that. But it's not like, 6 wins, here we extend. It's like, no, this is a guy I'm confident in, want to show I'm confident in, want to build, want to stack recruiting classes against each other. So, I expect that after the season's over, we'll get an extension done with Tom.
And Fred, here's what's kind of interesting, because you mentioned this a moment ago, and you said, I didn't, get him out of the line at the coffee machine or anything like that. You mentioned that regarding Tom Allen, but throughout this, was there ever a point where you thought, maybe this wasn't going to be the right hire, not the right guy? Were you ever within a moment of doubt regarding Tom there?
Well, I'd be silly not to acknowledge it. Nobody knows, nobody knows what's going to work out, regardless of the extension of a track record or not a track record and all that. So I'm not going to get up here and say I'm Kreskin or something and so on to the future. But I will say that I've been confident from really the first time I helped recruit him as the defensive coordinator that he could be an outstanding leader of our entire football program. And I think he was the victim of maybe some unrealistic expectations. I mean, he won 5 games his first year, and people thought that wasn't enough because we hadn't gotten to 6. I mean, that was his first year as a head coach in the Big Ten. Kevin Wilson took us to 2 bowl games his first year. He won 1 game, Tom's won, 16 games in 3 years with 4 to go. And he's already the winningest coach in the history of Indiana football for your first 3 years. So I was disappointed we didn't get that 6th win in year 1 and year 2. But I wasn't discouraged because I really felt like the program was in good hands. I thought it was going the right direction. We were recruiting the right kind of kids. We were attracting the right kind of assistant coaches. We were getting, speed doctor and some really great guys on the strength and conditioning side. So I've really felt like he's the right guy, really, since the beginning.
Fred, you guys won your 6th game in Lincoln on Saturday, and you play coming up on Saturday night at 7 o'clock at Memorial Stadium. The expectation is that there's going to be a lot of excitement and there are going to be a lot of folks there. Where are the ticket sales for that right now? Because I find that kind of interesting considering the time and place and what's transpired in the past week.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, John. I mean, we've got the defending Western Division champs coming in. I know their record's not what they want it to be, but they're dangerous as hell. They've beaten us 5 times in a row. Pat Fitzgerald's one of the good guys in college football. And so we're excited about playing them. And we play under the lights at night with some momentum. So, yeah, we're really excited about that. We're building on that. Our fans are responding to that. So to your specific question, we've been selling well over 1,000 tickets a day every day this week, which is really good for us. And those are people that they're buying tickets. They're coming to the game. If they're buying tickets a game week, we expect to sell a few thousand more before kickoff. So we'll be close to being full or well into being full under the lights in Bloomington football weather. I think it'll be awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Coach has been all over campus. It's Salute to Service Day. We're doing a T-shirt giveaway. I got free hot dogs for the students. The parachute team is zooming in. So it'll be a lot of fun. If people haven't come down to Bloomington in a while and seen the bowl lit up and seeing the Hoosiers playing the way they're playing now, I'd love for everybody to come down for the game.
How's the beer sales going?
Beer sales are awesome, man. You got beer and wine.
Was that a long time coming for you? Were you on board with that, or I mean, because it was a long time coming for me, but I'm maybe in the minority. How about you?
Yeah, well, ultimately that's a decision that officials of the university had to make, but I believed for a while that it was an important part of creating a great game day experience. You know, people want to go and have a couple beers, have a glass of wine, and we're fighting that awesome home experience. So I thought it was important for a couple of reasons. Number one, creating a fun game day experience where people have a little more fun and relax and enjoy a couple beers. And then secondly, every school that's adopted public sales of beer and wine have experienced actually a decline in the kind of negative incidents, negative alcohol-related incidents, either a citation or arrest in and around the stadium. That seems counterintuitive, but it's been the case everywhere, and it's been the case with us too. We averaged about 9 such incidents a year over the last 5 years, and now we're down to 6. So it certainly hasn't made things worse. I think it's made things better because people know that they don't have to, get their buzz to a fever pitch before they get in, so it carries through. And you probably don't have any experiences with John, but
no.
If you do that, sometimes you can miscalibrate. And if you miscalibrate, sometimes that leads to some problems. So we think it's been awesome and a really good thing. I expect us to adopt that going forward.
I wanted to ask you this too, and I don't expect you to have the numbers right now, but financially, how is the football program doing now, considering the point when you started the gig?
Yeah, well, we when I got there, my first year, we jumped about a third in our average attendance. We went from kind of the low to mid 20s up into the low 40s, and I think that was for a variety of things: improving the venue, improving the game day experience. The program's actually, doing better from a historical perspective. So we I think made a significant improvement. That was the third largest percentage increase in attendance in college football that year, and we've held that. Now we haven't closed that gap. We haven't gotten from like 44,000 to 52,629, which is what we want to do. And frankly, I think part of that is just the team having stacking success on success, stacking win on win. And I don't mean to beg off as administrator. I think there's a lot of things we can do. I think there's a lot of things we have done. But I think to close that final gap, we're probably going to have to do what we're doing now. I mean, we won 3 straight conference games for the first time in 26 years. We've got our best starting record that we've had for the first time in 26 years. So I think the team started to do its part And I think that'll lead the fans to do their part. Because when we've turned out a winner, when Bill Mallory had it going on, we were at 98% capacity. I think we can get there again.
So Fred Glass, Director of Athletics, IU. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline, IU and Northwestern, coming up at 7 o'clock on Saturday. At Memorial Stadium, IU 6 wins on the season going into that contest versus the Wildcats. All right, we're at the beginning of the IU basketball season as well. You're number 3 for Archie Miller. First 2 without an NCAA tournament berth. Is there some pressure on Archie to get this thing where it needs to be this season?
Well, not for me. If you define that as he's got to make the NCAA tournament or bust, we're in a microwave, Google, Insta, everything world, and I think sometimes you want to build it something strong and build something to last. You got to have a little patience. And last year, look, was disappointing. Archie would be at the front of the disappointment line. If you're talking about last year, ironically, we were probably one win away from making the NCAA tournament, which would have been a nice step forward in year 2. But it sort of didn't feel that way when we played so badly during the middle part of the season. We get off like gangbusters, have some huge wins, really look good, and then just have pretty much of an awful middle part of the regular season. Finish the regular season strong with some big wins, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and so forth, and didn't do much in the Big Ten tournament. Beat Ohio State, we probably go to the NCAA tournament. So it was I think left a foul taste in most people's mouths just because it was a frustrating year. And nobody ever wants to hear this, and Archie's never said this to me or publicly, but Tim Garl, who's been there since like Branch McCracken or whatever, as our trainer, said he's never seen injuries like that. You could see the games where we, I think, would have had a much better chance, if not won, if some of the guys had been able to go. So anyway, you flush that now. I like our guys. I like what Archie's doing. But any suggestion that this is some sort of up and out year, I think is just silly. I mean, look at Jay Wright at Villanova or Coach K at Duke. Neither one of those guys made the tournament till their 4th year, and look what they've built. But if they were measured by modern standards, maybe they even would have gotten there.
Yeah, I kind of understand, though, Fred, the fact that that's IU, though. With due respect to what Nova's turned into now and all, it's IU basketball, and people just look at that incredibly differently.
Yeah, no, I get it. Hey, nobody wants to win more than me, man. I mean, look, I grew up in Indianapolis, grew up going to the games. I was on campus when we won the championship in '81. And all that, but I think that whether it's Indiana or somewhere else, to have these standards that if you don't do this, then out, I think it's sort of irresponsible, So I look at the recruiting, the coaching, the guys, what he's building, and I want to get better and all that, but I'm not going to draw a line in the sand.
Yeah, I will say this for you and for the fans as well. If you lose 12 of 13 in the season, that's tough for any IU fan in the now or in the past to really digest, and that's why you get a lot of what you hear, and I'm sure what you read as far as this being a hell of a swing or important season for Archie and your number 3.
Well, sure, man. I don't begrudge people being pissed off. I mean, Archie's pissed off. I'm not happy about it. That you're going through that. I feel like, is this really happening? I mean, this doesn't happen in Indiana. It was tough to take, and I appreciate our fans being passionate about it. I'm glad. I'd rather our fans be mad than apathetic. So, but I've been criticized for having too high of standards. I've been criticized for saying that Indiana is an elite program and that we want to compete for Big Ten championships year in and year out and go deep in the tournament and hang the 6th banner. I mean, that's been what I've said to Archie coming here, and that's what I've said publicly, and that's where we want to go. So I don't think anybody's got to worry that I don't set the sights high. And in fact, I've been criticized by some for having set them too high, and I just don't agree with that.
So Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director on the Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline. How is the future of the NCAA and what we read and heard about early in the week? How does it affect you, and what do you think about it moving forward, Fred?
Man, talk about Kreskin. I wish I had a crystal ball because everything's changing. I don't think anybody really knows. We at Indiana stay very attentive to all that, particularly through our conference. The conference has a working group that's thinking about this name, image, and likeness piece. There's a lot of other things changing out there. Ultimately, John, it plays itself out above my pay grade. Other people will decide how all that works. We'll make those rules work for us. We'll do the best we can under the scheme that happens. But it's all going to change. I think this name, image, and likeness thing will really push toward a national solution because we can't have every state making its own rules about what's kosher and what's not in terms of what you can make available to these kids. So and I think by national, I mean the NCAA, I mean like Congress, because these states are passing laws. The NCAA can't pass laws. So my hope is that we get a national solution, probably a federal legislation one where everybody can be heard, and maybe something like the support of amateur athletics with the Olympic model, where there's a lot more government engagement. But I think that's the direction it's going, and I think the key is to let these kids get some opportunity to benefit from the brand they've built for themselves. At the same time, not open Pandora's box so that there's some out of control recruiting inducements that favor bigger markets and more highly populated areas and all those sorts of things.
So did you like what you read, what you heard? What was your opinion on it in general, just and how it affects you in Bloomington and IU athletics?
Well, I'm pleased that the NCAA and the Big Ten appear to be open to movement on the name, image, and likeness piece of allowing kids to have some financial benefit from the brand they've developed for themselves. I think that's a step in the right direction. I think we need to be careful to make sure that we don't open the wild, wild west in terms of recruiting inducements where, schools that are in big media markets or whatever, or have huge financial benefactors or whatever, can pay kids outlandish amounts of money that totally skews the market. Doesn't make it part of the collegiate model anymore. And that's a hard needle to thread, but I think that's what we've got to work toward doing.
I don't see, and this is just my opinion, and you can speak off of that, I don't see how it's not going to turn into that. I mean, how do you not ultimately have it turning into, and I know that they're worried about that, but how does it not become a bidding war?
No, I'm worried about that too, man. But I think name, image, and likeness is not going away, and I'm pleased that at least at the conference level and at the NCAA level, I think they're trying to figure out how to make that work. So I think if they stick their head in their sand and hope it goes away, I think you've got no chance of trying to build some bumpers around it that keep it from becoming, people go to the highest bidder, and it becomes more like professional sports. And frankly, I think it turns it off, and turns people off, and we kind of kill the goose that's laying the golden eggs, because it really wouldn't be collegians, competing anymore. It would really be this free agency market. So that's the balance. I think we're better off accepting that it's coming our way and trying to make it work than ignoring it and letting other people, establish our own destiny for us.
I know you're a guy that I'm assuming here. I should say I know. I'm assuming you think about this a lot. Do you have any ideas on how it should be handled other than what you've kind of mentioned already? You have any other ideas on how this should be going into the future? How it would best benefit everybody, not just university, athletic program to athletic program?
Well, there's a lot of talk out there about what the structure might look like. I think the important thing is to understand that it's coming. I think intercollegiate athletics needs to understand that it's coming, that it's probably an irresistible force, and we're better off understanding that, and if not embracing it, I guess, embracing it, but trying to do so in a way that we can have some limitations that people would accept. Now, like you point out, once that genie's out of the bottle, can you get it back in or not? I don't know, but I think we've got to try to be engaged and think about it from a national perspective, and understand that if we get too far away from a collegiate model, then I don't think college sports is going to be what we want it to be.
Like, I got people telling me all the time that ultimately we're going to be talking about salary caps and the like, and that would be what you just described. You know what I mean? If it ever would involve that, I'm assuming that'd be way down the road. But
right. But and this was before in my time, as old as I am. But back in the day, colleges couldn't give kids scholarships because they were said to be inappropriate inducements. They to be amateur, you had to be there on your own dime. As ridiculous as that sounds now, and people thought it was the end of the world when they said, no, you can pay for the scholarship. So, we've gone through some tough things in intercollegiate athletics, and I would argue that our sports have never been more popular. There's certainly never been a better time to be a student athlete in terms of what they get, with their stipends and their nutrition in schools and so forth. So I'm optimistic by nature. I think we'll figure it out. I don't think it's Armageddon, but I do think we've got to realize that it's coming and it's not going to go away by us sticking our head in the sand.
It's Fred Glass with us. I probably should have asked this at Workingman's Friend. Probably should have then. But how many more years you want to be doing this? Have you thought about that?
Not really. I think take every season at a time, and I'm enjoying it, and this football season's been a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to a really positive basketball season, and we're working through our bicentennial year, finishing up some facilities, and I'm pretty much focused on that.
Yeah, and I should have asked that at the Workingman's Friend. It just didn't occur to me until I left, so that happens.
Well, you'll have to take me again when we can have some fish bowls, because it's too early in the day for the fish bowl.
Yeah. Well, listen, a professional dude like you it might be, but not for me. Not for me. That was an anomaly of a day right there. Hey, one final thing that just occurred to me. Do you like the way the whole the model works with the Big Ten Network and how money goes? Do you like that entire thing? I think you've been asked this before. I don't think I've ever asked you that. It just occurred to me before I let you go. Do you like the way that all works?
Well, you may not like my answer, John, but I do. For Indiana University, the Big Ten Network is the best thing since, canned soup or, sliced bread or whatever you want to say. I mean, we're a little bit like the Colts in the NFL. IU is a small market in the Big Ten. We have a small football stadium that we don't fill. On a per sport basis, we have less money than any school in the conference, other than Rutgers. So for us to take a full share of the Big Ten Network money is quite a coup and enables us to compete and punch above our weight class a little bit if we were only left to our own resources. So I know it can be a pain on, this game streamed or what times is tip off at 9 p.m. But, I'll just say this, the schools have to own that. That's not ESPN's fault. That's not CBS's fault. We sold it, Now we sold it, we think, for good reasons because we need resources to compete, and most of that money gets reinvested in the kids and all that. But it's not BTN's fault or ESPN's fault that we'll have a 9 p.m. tip-off in Nebraska and people have to stay up till midnight to watch the game. The 80s and presidents sold that to them.
Yeah. I mean, Friday night football games in college really weird, and yeah. I mean, you mentioned the 9 o'clock stuff, and I know a lot of people are because back in the day, everybody grew up with being able to watch IU basketball, and no matter what game that it was, and now I think you got to sign up for something on BTN and watch it that way. It just is. It's been made a lot more difficult. I'm assuming that's what you were alluding to right there, correct? Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like the old man yelling for kids to get off the lawn, but when I was a kid, it was always on channel football. Kickoff was always at 1 o'clock. Channel 4, you played Tuesday nights and Saturdays, and it was a round robin. The Big Ten was actually 10, and you played this awesome round robin where you started with Northwestern, and you played everybody till Minnesota, and then you played Minnesota again, and then you played in reverse, and you played Northwestern last. How awesome was that? And you always knew when the games were going to be on, and the Martha the Mop Lady was on, and if you were really hard up, you'd watch the fat Purdue guy with the tuba in his attic, before their game. And, life was good, man. But life's changed, and if the Big Ten didn't change with it, then we'd be the MAC. So yeah, I kind of fondly wish for those old days when there was only one game on TV and it was Keith Jackson and all that. But if you want to compete, if you want to play with the big boys, then you pursue the big boy resources and do what you need to do. So that's what we've been doing.
I think you made a lot of Ball State people happy with that last comment there.
I have great respect for my colleagues.
I'm just glad you didn't say the Missouri Valley, or I'd have been pissed. Seriously. All right, hey, I appreciate it. I know it's always going to be a long Q&A when you come on here, and you probably hate it more than you tell me you hate it, but I appreciate it.
I always like being on with you, and you ask great questions, so I appreciate it. Hey, there's no magic, and that's the great thing about intercollegiate athletics, right? I mean, different, and you know better than anybody else. Different opinions. People are passionate. People have good ideas, and we kind of all find out together because it's all done live, right? So we'll see how the rest of this football season goes. I'm excited about basketball. Excited about Archie, and by saying that I don't think it's a in or out year doesn't mean that I'm not optimistic about what's going to happen with this team. I like these guys.
So Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director, IU Northwestern, coming up at 7 o'clock on Saturday. Of course, you can go down there, celebrate the fact that this team is now bowl eligible with their 6th win coming in Lincoln. And let's set the record straight. I did ask him about what was said out there, and he would not tell me, would not move off the fact. He would not tell me what was said to motivate folks or upset folks out there. So I shall keep digging.
Hey, John, did I mention to you that we're going to have beer down there Saturday night?
See, don't try to misdirect me. I know.
No, come on down. I'm just trying to track you guys down.
All right. Hey, Fred, it's always a pleasure. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right, brother. Hey, thanks for having me on.
So, Fred Glass on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I tried front and back. Does anybody actually know? I told him that I was going to ask people. Does anybody really know what was said? Do you know what was said?
There's rumors that it was Scott Frost. He said he was complaining about how difficult Nebraska's schedule was, and he wanted to play more teams like IU.
Oh,
so he named,
and he said that to who? Did he say that during the week?
That's the rumor of what Scott Frost said, and they went down to Nebraska and beat their butt.
Gotcha. All right. There it is. Fred Glass on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Fred's going to open up a little bit later on for Bob Saget. Bob Saget's going to be in here coming up after 5. Mike Chappell, too, the latest on the injury report and what really is going on with T.Y. Hilton. We'll talk about that with Mike at 5:30. ATI guys coming up, and Chain Smoker tickets on the way as well. Back with you next.
Thursday night football on Halloween tonight. NFC West showdown between the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. Steve Berry from the Sports Plus Network here to tell you what he likes about this one. Steve?
Yeah, Joey, this is going to be an interesting matchup. San Fran traveling to the desert. They're laying 10. Total's 42.5. San Fran coming in at 7-0, having a super season. Arizona coming in at 3-4-1. They had a 3-game winning streak, but it was snapped by New Orleans last week. There is some game-changing info on this game tonight. As I say every week, watch out for big lines. The last 2 dogs barely covered those big lines. The last 9 free plays we've given out on the air have gone 7-2. Guys, make the call, 1-888-895-6555. We will release the winner of San Francisco, Arizona at no charge to all callers. Make the call, 1-888-895-6555. San Fran, Arizona winner at no charge from Sports Plus.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom.
For car repair done by professional mechanics who are trained, trusted, and top of the line, go to the place Indy has trusted for over 40 years. CarX, the best in brakes, with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Right now, new brake pads are only $79.99 per axle on most vehicles at CarX, and that includes installation. That's $79 brake pads at CarX. So remember, when you need brakes,
don't worry, call the CarX man.
One of the great things in life is intimacy. It's a key part of how we express ourselves and share with the person we love. Physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy. As much as we want to share that intimacy, there are times it just doesn't seem to work out. 40% of the time in men over 40, it just doesn't work. Many couples go months and sometimes years without addressing erectile dysfunction or other sexual issues in what can easily be resolved with just one visit to the Indianapolis Men's Clinic. Our Indiana licensed providers use FDA-approved medications to get intimacy back into your relationship in just one visit. There is no need to wait any longer. We are here for you, both of you. Call 999-9000 to set up a private consultation. 999-9000. The clinic visit, evaluation, and testing of the medication is just $99. IndyMen'sClinic.com for more information. 999-9000.
Did you know that online sports betting is now legal in Indiana? And online sportsbooks have limited time offers available right now, like exclusive bets and deposit match bonuses. At PlayUSA.com, we compare offers from top online sportsbooks so that you can skip the work and get to betting. Go to PlayUSA.com/radio today and choose from thousands of dollars in bonuses, all of them reviewed and rated. Don't bet without your bonus. Visit PlayUSA.com/radio now. 21 and over, Indiana customers only. All gamblers bet at their own risk. Winning is not guaranteed. Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER for resources and to learn more.
Couples who get a Shane Company engagement ring love how well our rings are made. The extra steps we take to ensure that you'll get a superior ring at the best price. We put more gold into the structure of the ring so it will stand the test of time. Our prongs are stronger to securely hold the center stone without compromising elegance or beauty. Our team of gemologists inspects every center stone. Every diamond, ruby, or sapphire must pass Shane Company's high-quality standards and visual beauty test before it qualifies to be set into an engagement ring. From the stonecutter's wheel to our designer's drawing table to the jeweler's bench, only Shane Company provides superior quality and superior value. Our rings are made so well, we offer you a warranty that's free for a lifetime and even covers your center stone. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and ShaneCo.com.
Hey, really happy to have Love Heating and Air Conditioning as a part of the show. I've used them forever. Johnny Chris are the absolute best. You know that Love Heating and Air Conditioning, the company's been around since 1920. They're people that you can trust, and they care about you. You're what matters to them. And I love the combination so much. I love local. I love people that I know. I love people that are my friends. That's why I have Love Heating and Air Conditioning now as a part of the show. I also have a JMV special for you. All right, so you see it outside right now. You got snow flurries falling where you are, the cold temps. It all stinks really bad, but you got to make sure you're prepped heating-wise for the cold months ahead, which begin right now. So get a check and a clean on your furnace right now for just $64.95. That's the JMV special. Ask for it from Love Heating and Air Conditioning today. Online, that's love-hvac.com today.
Warning. This product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simply used, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever. 99 cents plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pod sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
BullseyeEventGroup.com, Colts VIP Tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Coming at you before the Dolphins game. That's the week after this. Go ahead and get your passes right now, too. All you can eat, all you can drink. Celebrity Chef Aaron May prepares. You got Skids. You got Indiana Jones on the ones and the twos. You got me doing a radio show. It is awesome. Game day experience at its best. And remember, for the holiday season, if you want to rent out the Bullseye Event Center for an event, for a party, for a get-together, for a celebration, you can. So here's what I want you to do. Check out how you can do that and get your Colts VIP tailgate passes courtesy of Hayes & Company. You can get those passes online right now, BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Right now, save up to $120 off select sets of tires, only at your local Big O Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Ride with JMV.
What did you say? I said we need a water break. You need a water break. Water is for cowards. Water makes you weak. Water is for washing blood off that uniform, and you don't get no blood on my uniform. Boy, you must be outside your mind.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Outside target, Chirinos the pitch. Swinging a line drive, slice down the right field line toward the corner. Springer back, looking up, and this one is gone. It hits the foul pole, and the Nationals lead. Howie Kendrick has done it again. A slicing two-run homer off the right field foul pole. Do you believe it, Howie Kendrick? Part 2.
Nationals radio right there. 7 games, all won on the road. And the Nationals beat the Astros last night. Howie Kendrick was a huge part of it. Anthony Rendon, a huge part of it. Halloween 2019, Lil Rockwell in the background. Fred Glass, IU athletic director. I think everything that needed to be asked was asked right there. You can check it out if you missed any of it on a podcast, 1075thefan.com. I appreciate IU reaching out, getting Fred on here. Always a pleasure. ATI coming up in a couple of minutes, too. Keep that in mind. Mike Chappell talks about T.Y. Hilton. Is there a bigger deal? A lot of people want to make a big deal out of situations here. We'll talk to Mike about that at 5:30. And the greatness that is Bob Saget's going to be in town Friday and Saturday. And Bob is going to join us coming up a little bit after 5. So be ready for that. Pacers win last night. First time this season in Brooklyn tomorrow night versus the Cavaliers. Pre-game coverage begins right here at 6:30. As I mentioned, too, with Fred, IU Northwestern. Coverage begins right here at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening. 7 p from Bloomington is that game. As IU now bowl eligible with 6 wins. Good stuff so far. Tomorrow, Bud Light Blue Friday. Dolphins, Colts tickets live from Whiskey Business off of Pendleton Pike. I would love to see you out there tomorrow. Again, 3 until 7, Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, Bud Light Blue Friday on 93.5 and 107.5 FM, The Fan.
It's your chance to win a free entry into the 2019 Drumstick Dash presented by Wheeler Mission in Broad Ripple on Thanksgiving Day. Simply log on to 1075thefan.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we have loans for about everyone. We do refinances where you can pull cash out and pay off all your credit cards. We do purchase loans and can put you in your new dream home in as little as 14 days. We have loans that require no down payment. And at thehomeloanexpert.com, you're going to get a lower rate and customer service that no one can match. The 5-minute loan approval, only available at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
According to the betting market, the Arizona Cardinals are in for a Halloween scare against Nick Bosa and the 49ers tonight. With this Bet Indiana News update, I'm Kevin Bowen. San Francisco opened up as an 8.5-point favorite for the Week 9 Thursday nighter before a steady stream of bets pushed the point spread up to 10. Covering that number may be a tall order for the Niners, though, who have lost 8 straight at Arizona. But San Fran has been one of the NFL's best stories this season, winning their first 7 games and going 5-2 against the spread. The Cardinals may have something going of their own in the first year of the Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray era. They've won 3 in a row before last week's trip to New Orleans and are profitable 5-3 against the spread this season. Tonight's total is 43, and here's a trend for gamblers to contemplate. The under is 19-6 in primetime games this season. That is a 76% hit rate. This sports betting update has been brought to you by Bet Indiana News. Visit betindiananews.com for more sports betting coverage and insights.
Hey, John, for Farm Credit Union. Farm Credit Union coming at you once again with your opportunity to do just this. If you're a new home buyer, a new home builder, are you ready? They have a home buyer home builder showcase going on in the month of November that's going to educate you on the entire process, a process that can be nerve-wracking. It can bug you. It can be a hassle, but my guys at Farm Credit Union, Kevin and the gang, will make sure that you understand exactly, that's okay, you're just fine, what is going on in your home building and home buying process. With Farm Credit Union and the Home Buyers Showcase, to find out more, stop by a branch location, ask for Kevin, tell him I sent you, or online, ForumCU.com today.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg, and it is Truck Month, when you can save up to 27% on F-150s and up to 20% on all new Fords. We're here with Brian from sales. Brian, are you reading your reviews?
Yeah,
I want to make sure our customers are happy.
Well, can you do that later? We're trying to talk about...
Chad said, I immediately felt comfortable when I walked into the dealership.
That's great, Brian, but Truck Month...
Tanya said, outstanding people and great dealership to work with.
Yes, Brian, we all know that Bill Estes Ford is the #1 customer review dealership in Indy.
We do work hard so the customer can take it easy.
Right, but I think everyone wants to hear about Truck Month. F-150s are up to 27% off, and all new Fords are up to 20% off.
Plus, choose from 170 pre-owned vehicles with 1.9% financing for 60 months.
Now we're on the same page, Brian. Stop by Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and see why customers rate us #1 in Indy.
Hey, look, Amy said...
Brian, you gotta see the world around you, man.
If you're looking for a dependable pre-owned commercial work truck, one name says it all. Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Box trucks, cargo vans, flatbeds. If it's a work truck you need, you'll find it at Indy Trucks. Plus, they're inspected, certified, and come with a 3,000-mile, 3-year repair warranty. Easy to get to and easy to work with at Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Indy Trucks. We'll be looking for you.
Hey, sports fans, JR, top contributor at WagerPro.com. Make sure you download the Wager Pro app. It's absolutely free. Fastest scores and odds in the business. Now, let's get down to business. I've got unbelievable information on a big matchup between Indianapolis and Pittsburgh. You can call this number right now and get this point spread winner free of charge on a tape-recorded message. 800-499-3733. That's toll-free. 800-499-3733. Right now, on a tape-recorded message, the point spread winner of Indianapolis-Pittsburgh Sunday action, absolutely free on a tape-recorded message. Call now, 800-499-3733. And that spells free, 800-499-FREE. Now, we're the only company in history to be documented with our on-air free picks right here on radio to hit over 80% on more than 100 games. In fact, it's 150-plus games and counting, 81%. Now, I'm telling you, the information we've uncovered on this Indianapolis-Pittsburgh game is incredible. I'm telling you, the point spread is downright wrong. The odds makers, they're confused on this one. The public's confused, but we're not at WagerPro.com. Call this number, get the point spread winner free on my tape-recorded message. 800-499-3733. That's 800-499-FREE. And here's how it works. You dial the number, 800-499-FREE. You listen to the recorded message, and you get the winner, point spread winner, of the big matchup between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis. Call right now, 800-499-3733, and get on over to WagerPro.com and download the app. That's WagerPro.com.
Hey, it's John here for FanDuel. FanDuel with the promo code JMV. All right, here's what I want you to do. FanDuel Sportsbook officially live in Indy. You know that, right? So now you can bet money line, spreads, parlays, props, and more. It's every game from anywhere in the state. Plus, FanDuel Sportsbook is offering you a risk-free bet worth up to $500 when you sign up with the promo code JMV. That means if you lose your first bet, FanDuel will give you a refund in site credit. And if you're thinking about using your risk-free bet, how about tonight's game? Does that interest you? Tonight's football game, maybe? Take a look at that. Risk-free bet. Your first one. And don't forget, you can bet on the game risk-free. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now or visit FanDuel.com/sportsbook to claim your risk-free bet with promo code JMV. Again, that's promo code JMV with FanDuel. First online wager only. Refund issued as site credit. Terms apply. Must be at least 21. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
The fans are ready, the coaches are ready, and the Colts are ready to go.
Hey, it's JMV. Join me this Friday at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike for your chance to win Dolphins-Colts tickets, courtesy of Bud Light.
Here's to the beer you can always count on. Bud Light, brewed with 4 essential ingredients to become America's favorite light lager.
I'll see you this Friday at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike.
Bud Light, brewed for the Colts and their fans.
With Golden Oak Lending's low mortgage rates, you have choices. Lower your monthly payment, pay off credit cards, buy a new house. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
The Hoosiers welcome the Northwestern Wildcats to the Rock. Saturday evening at 6 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Look at all those ding-dongs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. Halloween 2019. Have a great time tonight. It's like a damn snow globe down here right now. Seriously. October 31st. Snow globe. Great. Thank you very much. JMV. Did you ask Fred Glass about the Nebraska disrespect? I'm just curious. I did. And he would not tell me. Not only did I ask him once, but I asked him twice. The beginning and at the end. JMV, it's a whiteout in Fishers. It's a whiteout. It's been a whiteout downtown a little bit. Just kind of flurries right now. Looks like stinking January out here, and I think this sucks. You know, it was 30 days ago. 30 days ago, it was 90. 30 days ago, it was 90. It's from Ricky. Wow, the worst couch general manager of all time on the show was Donk. Ban the dude forever. He isn't an Indiana Pacers fan. Shaler with this. What the hell is Donk on? He's been drinking the Halloween punch a little early. What a clown. Carlos writes this. JMV Brogdon is nice. He and Vic are going to be a top 5 backcourt. I think that is going to be fantastic to watch. I agree how fun that is going to be. Oh, man, seriously, did this just happen? Fred Berry just died? Aw. Anybody know who Fred Berry is? I know I'm not even going to ask you, Kyle. This is well before your time. I want to make sure this is accurate first. And apparently that it is. Fred Berry was rerun on the show What's Happening. Late 70s. I think they had a reboot of the show as well. He was rerun. He danced a little bit, wore suspenders. He kind of played the role of the overweight goof, but a dancer and funny comedian, Fred Berry. They did a great episode once upon a time where they were on the Gong Show. Fred Berry has passed away. I thought he'd already passed away, to be honest with you, but that stinks. Fred Berry is pretty funny. I did like What's Happening. They had What's Happening Now. He was in that. Rerun. RIP rerun. Bill is at 239-1070. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hey, buddy. I absolutely love your show.
Thank you, Bill. That's kind. Thank you very much.
All right. Yeah, actually, you can call me. My nickname's Shungus, nicknamed by my good friend Welby.
Yep.
Love that guy. Wanted to talk a little bit about the Colts game plan this weekend. Touch on that. Welby was telling me that my son.
Hey, let me break in. Fred Berry. I was right. Fred Berry passed away in 2003. I'm sorry. Hold on. I've got breaking. Fred Berry passed away in 2003. That's what I thought. I thought he'd been gone for a while. 2003. Come on, Internet. Gotta be better. When it comes to stuff like this, just come to me. Sorry about that, Bill. Go ahead. Bill seems gone. Was Bill, yeah. Yeah, 2000. I thought rerun is already gone. That's what I thought. RIP rerun again. Says here he died in October 21st, 2003, so rerun has not been with us now for over 16 years. It's from Jeff. Hey, JMV, it's my 35th birthday today, and my wife Brittany and I are expecting our first child any day now. We don't know the gender. What's your guess? I am going to go with a girl. It will be a girl, Jeff Hansen. You're going to have a gender reveal party. And congratulations, by the way. I did not have a gender reveal party. I had I can't believe I knocked somebody up party is what I had. I go, wow, really? Holy crap, I did that. Can't believe it. John Dissauer says a rerun of rerun. Incredible. Yeah, I thought that was long ago. 2003. That was going to change the dynamic in my conversation with Bob Saget coming up here after 5. For sure. JMV, what were your thoughts last night in seeing TJ Warren playing well for really a first time? There were spots, there were moments against Detroit the other night, but there was a complete and utter discombobulation at the end of the game. So what did I think? I think that it looks like TJ Warren certainly is better off playing with a smaller lineup. It looked like he felt more comfortable once there weren't two bigs in there and there was just one. Anybody else agree with me? He felt more comfortable, looked more comfortable. What did you think? We running a little bit late. You want us to readjust stuff in the 5 o'clock hour? No, we'll do that. No problem. All right, we can do that for sure. For you, anything, guys. Well, Brad Howe's got to get out there tonight and get some trick-or-treating going on. Get Miles out there, everybody. Well, trick-or-treating. JMV, thanks. That is kind. I'll say thank you, but interrupting you mid-sentence and kick you off. Come on, man. I did not. He wasn't there anymore. The guy that came on, I interrupted mid-sentence, was no longer there. I asked for him twice. I can't help that. Listen, when we get something wrong, we got to make sure that it's right. Oh, Dan, man. I would love to say this, but I can't. I mean, I think this is really good, but I can't say it. At least I don't think I can. I've probably said worse on here, but this sounds worse than it actually is. But I think it's a job well done. I do. Fred Glass a little bit earlier, podcast 1075thefan.com. Mike Chappell, bottom of the 5 o'clock hour coming up. Chainsmoker tickets in the 5, November 7, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And 10 minutes after the hour or somewhere in that neighborhood, the greatness that is Bob Saget, who's in town this weekend at Helium Comedy Club, is set to join us coming up after 5. Back with you next.
Kick is up. It's on its way.
The Colts continue their amazing run.
It's gone!
Surprising the entire league.
The greatest of all time knocks it through.
Now our boys in blue invade the AFC North to take on the struggling Steelers. Sunday, it all starts with the pregame huddle at 10. Countdown to kickoff at noon. Matt Taylor with the call at 1. Talk about it after the game with Greg Rakestraw. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for Colts football.
Here's a quick rundown of what's going on at Arby's every day from 2 to 5 p.m. and after 9 p.m. Each of our sliders are $1. The warm cookies are $1. The soda is $1. The shakes $1. The parking free. The drive-thru paved. The curly fries $1. The ketchup all you can eat. Arby's, we have the meats.
Dollar price valid for small fries and drinks, snack shakes, and classic sliders. Available at participating locations for a limited time.
Is your business still settling for slow internet? Well, time is money. Switch to Comcast Business now and get a great deal on fast, reliable internet. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, installation when it works for you, and 24/7 customer support, it's time to take your business beyond. Right now, get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for paperless billing and autopay. Plus, we offer solutions like powerful Wi-Fi that thinks about what customers want, and automatic internet backup that can keep your business running. So what are you waiting for? Get the internet your business really needs. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Monthly service charge increases by $10 without paperless billing and autopay. Offer ends 11/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours.
Okay, it's almost opening time. Got to email over photos of this season's line.
As a business owner, you've got a million things to think about.
Can't forget about that video conference later.
Dealing with second-rate cable internet shouldn't be one of them.
But I did switch to AT&T Internet for Business with integrated broadband and wireless connection, so I've got this.
AT&T Internet for Business is designed for business, with an integrated network that gives you 99.9% reliability, so you can focus on running your business.
Really need to update the website and figure out whatever that was.
And even if the power suddenly goes out, or if a construction worker accidentally cuts your cable line, AT&T Internet Backup automatically has you covered, so your business stays one step ahead.
All right, it's go time.
Choose fast, highly reliable AT&T Internet for Business today and get a $100 AT&T Visa Reward Card. Go to att.com/business internet or call 855-433-5700 to take advantage of this offer today. The AT&T Visa Reward Card is issued by the Bancorp Bank pursuant to a license from Visa USA Inc. and can be used everywhere Visa debit cards are accepted in the United States, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. No cash access. The Bancorp Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, John here for ATI. ATI Physical Therapy. That's ATIPT.com today because pain might be something you're living with right now. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to live with it. You do not have to live with it by virtue of what they do at ATI. Brad Howell's one of the best out there. I mean, will get you back in shape in a minute from whatever might ail you right now pain-wise. Elbow, knee, whatever. Go to ATI. Here's the thing. Most of the time, if you have pain, you're thinking, I'm going to have an operation. That's why I'm not going to go. But I'm here to tell you that oftentimes you don't have to have a surgical procedure. You need physical therapy from ATI with a location nearest you that you can find easily and folks that are great to deal with. Don't have to live with that pain. Do something about it with ATI. Online right now, ATIPT.com.
Hiring you as our wedding planner was a huge mistake.
Ma'am, I told you there is nothing I can do about your fiancé's dance moves.
No, the wedding venue and catering bundle. You should have warned me it would be like whatever this is.
But you wanted this lovely barn setting. So rustic. So many laced doilies. Look at all the mason jars.
Yeah, I really didn't think the farm animals would be in the barn during the wedding.
Don't worry, they won't be here long. Did you order the beef or the chicken?
Stuck in a bad bundle? Get a great one. Bundle AT&T Fiber and DirecTV and get a $100 reward card. Requires 24-month TV and 12-month internet agreements. Redemption required. Limited availability. May not be in your area. See if you qualify at att.com/bundle. AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Subject to change. New approved customers. Requires qualifying TV package. Minimum $49.99 a month for 12 months after discounts. Price higher in second year. Internet 25 megs or higher. Minimum $40 a month plus $10 a month equipment fee. Equipment lease early termination. Equipment non-return. Taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. Call or visit att.com for full details.
Hey, Indianapolis and Pittsburgh facing off. FanDuel Sportsbook giving you the chance to get an even bigger win when you bet on the game. Sign up with the promo code JMV and place a $5 moneyline bet for the Indianapolis-Pittsburgh game. FanDuel Sportsbook will give you a $5 site credit bonus for every point your pick scores in this case, too, which is, really good. You'll like it. Use the promo code JMV. That's how you have to qualify. And with FanDuel Sportsbook, there's plenty more to bet on. Not only do they offer spreads, over-unders, parlays, props. You know that, too. But how about this? They have close loss insurance, touchdown bonuses, and boosted odds. And best of all, FanDuel Sportsbook has lightning-fast withdrawals, so you can get the money back in your pocket in as little as 24 hours. Sign up right now. The promo code is JMV. That's JMV. Place a $5 moneyline bet for the Indianapolis-Pittsburgh game. You'll get a $5 bonus for every point your pick scores. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now or visit FanDuel.com/sportsbook to bet today. Must be 21 and physically present in Indiana. First wager only. Bonus issued in site credit. Site credit expires 7 days after receipt. Terms apply. Minimum $5 moneyline wager. Maximum $200 bonus. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC, HD2, W298BV, W228CX, Indianapolis. Your Colts tickets are waiting. Be there November 10th as Dwight Freeney is inducted into the Ring of Honor. Get your Colts versus Dolphins tickets today at Colts.com/tickets. The Ride with JMV.
Awesome! Totally awesome! All right, Hamilton.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Bob Saget coming up here in just a bit when he calls in. Mike Chappell, bottom of the hour. ATI guys coming up at the end of the show here. If you missed it earlier, Chris Denari talked about the Pacer first win of the season last night on the road at Brooklyn. We also talked about the Pacers as they look right now. Fred Glass, IU athletic director, for about 20 minutes on basically everything a little bit earlier, too, which was good. If you missed that on the podcast, that's 1075thefan.com. Discussion, Game 7, World Series. And what, if you didn't have a rooting interest, it didn't matter because there was so much drama, so much going on. I think without question, one of the best 7-game World Series, actually one of the best World Series in general ever. Ever. That's what you got last night. You had two teams Neither winning at home, which is absolutely incredible. It was compelling. You had drama. You had mistakes. You had big plays. You had issues with the umpiring. It was awesome. It was great. You had a little nudity in game number 5. It was all good. I mean, the whole series was fantastic, top to bottom, even if you did not have a rooting interest. We talked about that a little bit earlier. The Nationals win over the Astros, and getting you set for the Colts and the Steelers coming up on Sunday afternoon. The Colts 1-5 in their past 6 with the Steelers, and the Steelers certainly have had ownership of that team. There's no doubt since 2008. Will the Colts change things coming up on Sunday? It's not your average, not your same, not the type of Steeler team that you remember. There's no Ben Roethlisberger this year. No longer is there Antonio Brown. Le'Veon Bell is with the Jets. It is different, but that is still a tough place to play. And we shall see coming up on Sunday afternoon. T.Y. Hilton, that's kind of interesting, too. I don't see anybody else talking about it. It was weird. Like, people started asking me via Twitter, hey, what's wrong with T.Y. Hilton? People are saying something's wrong and it's bad and what's going to happen. And I can't find anything that would state other than just some fans talking about it. Anything as bad as just the calf injury that we're talking about here, and the fact that he's missing practice and the fact that he was limited yesterday. Now, we'll talk to Mike Chappell at the bottom of the hour about that, but I've seen, other than just a lot of hearsay, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. My man Ari writes this, Kyle. It's pretty simple here. What Kyle said is correct. It was said at a press conference last year. Kudos to Glass for the high road. See, listen, Ari, I kind of wanted him to go the low road a little bit. I kind of wanted him to go the low road. I wanted to point a finger at Scott Frost or whomever. But that's all right. I did kind of want him to go there. And I asked him start and finish. And we hit on absolutely everything too, which is always good. This is from Bill. Hey, JMV, I golfed on Monday. It was 60. Listen, 30 days ago it was 90. And it's a snow globe out here right now. JMV, your guy Miles goes out of the game and the Pacers win. Coincidence? I don't think so. Rich, Miles, as you described him as my guy, they were up 10 when he rolled his ankle, right? He goes out there up 10, so they were performing well anyway. Listen, there are going to be some games when the bigs aren't going to work out, and maybe it doesn't work out long term. Last night you had guys that hit shots. Last night you had guys that were engaged, and there was a sense of urgency that we haven't seen so far, with or without Miles. I love the fact that Domas was going hard at it last night. I mean, hard, taking on everybody. DeAndre Jordan. I mean, nothing for Domas last night. But they were playing well when Miles went out. Miles, by the way, is week to week with an ankle. See how many games he ends up missing. Pacers get the Cavaliers coming up tomorrow night. 6:30 is your pregame coverage. This is from Lee. Hey, JMV, the last player that had a calf injury retired. But he's not the only player to have a calf injury. Not the only player. Hey, listen, I don't know about Sunday. We'll check and see about Sunday. And let me tell you this, T.Y.'s a gamer too, so it would completely surprise me. Man, there's nobody talking about it right now. At least I haven't seen anybody else talking about T.Y. Yeah, I haven't seen anything either. JMV, I absolutely loved watching Domas do what he was doing last night against Brooklyn. I agree. The thing that I liked was this. He stroked a couple of threes. Man, that is so important. They got shooting. Jeremy Lamb, for the first time in 2 games, showed up there, had 25. There are a lot of things that were going down last night. You're not going to be able to 2 and 2 together. JMV, trade Miles for a Kit Kat and a bottle of Big Red. Alex, that doesn't seem like a good idea at all. I think he would suck as a general manager, Alex. I think he would stink. I don't like it. JMV, what do you think about Josh Gordon now on waivers, hoping to land in a good spot or a supportive situation? I would say absolutely, positively not. There's no way that's going to happen. None. Zero. None. Hey, JMV, it was mentioned the other day that last year the head coach, that's Scott Frost in Nebraska, during a 2-game or more losing skid, said, hey, we're not out there playing IU every weekend. That's what Kyle alluded to. Outstanding. Hey, JMV, I heard you talking about Rick Smits and the comparison somebody was making to who was going to be better, Domas or Rick Smits. He had a pick and pop and an elbow jumper that was automatic. It took him a long time, though. You guys were treating Rick back in the day. I shouldn't say you guys. This is before a lot of you guys were born. But some folks around here were treating Rick exactly how a lot of you guys treat Miles right now back in the day. I lived it. I was here. I know it. For sure. For sure. So we'll see. Absolutely not on Josh Gordon, though. Come on. That doesn't sound good whatsoever. JMV, did you ask Fred Glass if Archie Miller was a miscalibration? I asked Fred Glass the level of importance not to have significant pressure on Archie Miller in this team's performance this year. He said when it came down to does he have to make the tournament to keep his job, he said no. But listen, we all know what's going to happen if they go through another season as they did a year ago. I mean, they were bad last year, as we talked about. And, I asked about the expectation, and he said he had expectations in him, but let's see if they're not met in year number 3. I mean, good luck with that. That just comes with the territory of the gig. It's why everybody talks about IU basketball still, and they haven't done anything in forever. The legend of it. There's no way. I wouldn't expect him to say it right now, but there's no way. Mike Chappell, bottom of the hour. On the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, I cannot wait for this. Helium Comedy Club coming up tomorrow and Saturday. Let's break away just for a moment. I think we got him right here on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Is this Bob Saget?
It is. I evacuated from the fires, and it was like this crazy thing where I could not get the cell signal.
How are things going for your place and your friends and neighbors out there right now, Bob?
It's going good now. Now, we lost like 11 homes in my area, but they were able to let us back in today. But, of course, I'm flying to Indy. So,
yeah.
So that's fine by me.
Well, we're really excited to have you. Bob Saget, by the way, is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. He's going to be here Friday and Saturday at Helium Comedy Club downtown. I know there are a ton of people excited about that. How much do you enjoy, because it seems like you're on the road all the time, how much do you enjoy being in front of the crowds in communities and in cities around the country doing your stand-up?
A lot. And in the past 3 years, I kind of made a decision. I don't know, the way the world kind of shifted and the way people are angry and upset. I just wanted to make people happy, and not by touching them and massaging them in incorrect ways, just by making people laugh. And if people have different opinions or they're different kinds of people, that's all the better. I just want people to have it's like a town meeting when I do a show, And I'm working on new material to do a new special, but I've been doing 2 new TV shows that are coming out. One of them comes out the night I start. Friday night. So that'd be tomorrow. So it's on CMT called Nashville Squares, and there's 2 episodes at 8 o'clock. And so it's like fun. It's like a drunk Hollywood Squares. Yeah. And I'm the host, and there's no script, and that's how I do my stand-up too. And I'm coming with Mike Young to Indy, and I know Helium was like a brand new one. I worked the one in Portland, and it's where you go to work out new material. Everybody, no matter who you are, you do 4 or 6 nights, 4 or 6 shows. It feels like a night each show.
So are you going to work out a lot of new material here in Indy at Helium Comedy Club this weekend?
Yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff. I got a bunch of new music, and one of them is actually a country song that I sang on Nashville Squares. It's called "Corn's My Meat." It's a vegan song, so I ain't all blue. People are going, "Oh, he's dirty," and it's like they're so wrong. They saw a special from HBO in 2007 and then based everything on that. But true people that are artists, and I say, yes, I'm hosting Nashville Squares, and I say I'm an artist, but I directed a movie last year that's out now on Hulu called Benjamin, and I have I've done a lot of theater, and I've got a new Fuller House is winding up now at the end of 2 weeks I shoot the last Fuller House, and that airs end of this year and then beginning of next year. And then Videos After Dark is the dirty version of the video show I used to do. And it's me getting bleeped and hosting, but it's not dirty. It's like 14-year-olds can watch it, but it'll be on ABC. We did 14 of them for ABC, and they're very excited about it. And I said, when can I say it's going to be on? And one of the heads of the network said, winter, spring. And I'm like, what are you in Game of Thrones? What are you talking about? That's like fishing season. I don't know what they're talking about, but so I've got that show and another show, and working on a bunch of other stuff, directing a documentary about Martin Mull, and working on another movie to direct. So I do stand up out of the sheer love of it, and it means more to me than it ever has. And I guess because I'm just older and I guess a little wiser, and realize that laughter really. It was a joke that everybody's taken. I think I did it first, which is laughter is the best medicine. No, that's Percocet. But, everybody has their own version of that joke. I think I did it first, but whatever.
I did. Take credit for it. Here's what I love about you, and Bob Saget joins us right now, is you mentioned the 2007 special where, you had a lot of eyes popping, and probably still do from that right now. But I was going to mention this. This is why I really like you as much as I do, because you show versatility. You entertain. You entertain from one end of the spectrum to the other. Your Full House, G-rated stuff to 2007 stand-up, and not a lot of guys can do that, Bob.
Or ladies. It's or people caught in the middle. Or changing. I think I should become a woman, and then I'm going to become the biggest star of all time. I think that's what's holding me back, to be honest. But in honesty, I have empathy for everybody. There's real kindness in what I do. And in my last special, 0 to 60, which wasn't that dirty. Some people were going, it wasn't dirty enough. I said, look, this is how I'm growing right now, whatever it is. But I said, I'm the only television father left that you can trust. And it's the truth, because the last I did it, the other guy's in jail, and he should be, and nobody's tweeted and said I did this to them. The worst thing said about me was Gilbert Gottfried at my roast years ago on Comedy Central, and that was pretty bad. So sometimes I'll look on Twitter at what Gilbert said, and I'll go, oh, no, people are going to think that's right now, but it was a joke. People are very sensitive, and I tee up jokes that are offensive and get out of them quick. I do things, you have to explain it so you're not hurting anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. And I just love having a live audience. And I know Helium's going to be great. My buddy Mike Young is awesome. I met him. He was a writer on Entourage. So we've been touring for 10 years, and he's just a good buddy. We're there for each other, and he's really funny. He's single. I'm not.
It's Bob Saget on the Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline, Helium Comedy Club here downtown. It's coming up Friday and Saturday. I had Jeremy Piven on week before last, right? And we were talking about the series Entourage in that 10-year period, 2000 to 2010 plus. That was one of the characters, and really when you look back in TV, one of the characters of all time. But I mentioned this to him. Your character, where you basically parody yourself, was absolutely genius. Was that you? Was that Doug Ellen, or who was that?
Doug Ellen came at me and said, I want you to play yourself. And at that time, if you played yourself, you weren't nominatable for an Emmy until Michael J. Fox played himself on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then he changed all the rules. And I went, oh, damn, I need a disease. But that's in poor taste, because I do a lot of benefits, and I have family with Parkinson's and scleroderma and cancer. So I just do gallows humor. I hope people understand that. No harm from that. But the truth of it is, Doug came to me and said, okay, let's make you Bob, and you're a badass guy, but your wife took all your money, and stop it right there. My wife did not take all my money. If I'm playing a version of me, let's make me the opposite way. He said, okay, then we're going to make your cojones bigger than ever. And you're going to say how you got more money, and you don't care if she got a couple houses. You just don't care because you're this, and that version was much funnier. A guy that's so pompous and full of himself, the opposite of a BoJack Horseman thing. Somebody said they based BoJack on me, and then I talked. No, but I talked to oh God, what's his name? He's David Arquette. No. Who's the star of BoJack Horseman? Will. He's really funny. Will Arquette.
Yeah.
And he said no, and we were smoking cigars and chilling with cool people. So
Bob Saget joins us, Helium Comedy Club, Friday and Saturday. I mentioned your character as your parody of yourself on Entourage. I mean, that's why you've been great both ends of the spectrum, because some people think you're that, and then others think you're full-time Danny Tanner, which is amazing. You could not get further apart.
It's an acting job,
yes.
And I am a little Danny Tanner. I do have a dustbuster, and here I am doing the end of Fuller House, and I did it for 5 years, and I loved it. It was like Leonard Nimoy for the millennials. He was on Star Trek. Star Trek was a series, but they know that because of J.J. Abrams. But he was saying I'm not Spock, and I was saying, eventually, I think 10 years later, he said, "Okay, I'm Spock," and it's the same with me. I mean, I know I'm Danny Tanner to some people. I'm fine with that. I was talking to a young girl yesterday or 2 days ago at Access Hollywood, and there was a 9-year-old, and she was so flustered to meet me and wanted me to autograph stuff for her and was shaking, and I was like so flattered that a kid didn't know the other side of me, only knew the Danny Tanner part. So,
nah, man, it's entertainment. You're right. It's acting, it's entertainment, it's enjoyment, and people embrace it. And you can't, in your position, you can't ask for anything better than that, Bob.
No,
for a career.
You're right. I hate to say blessed because people do say it, but I am. I mean, I didn't lose my house this week, but mainly the more important thing is going out and doing what I get to do as an artist. First, human life comes first. Your kids come first, and then your career. I used to have it backwards. But the last play I did on Broadway, it was called Hand to God, a Tony-nominated play, and I was playing a Lutheran pastor, and I wasn't the funny guy. I wasn't talking dirty. Everybody else was. It was a sock puppet possessed by the devil that I was trying to exorcise. And it was a great, great play, but nobody knew it was me. I came out as a preacher and as a minister. I mean, and it was, I love acting. I love directing. I got this movie on Hulu called Benjamin that people can see.
Yep.
And it's a whole bunch of stuff that I get to do in the next 10, 20 years. And people go, "Oh, you're not going to retire?" And it's like my friend Norman Lear, who did All in the Family, literally was the genius of television. The Sanford and Son, Jeffersons, Good Times. He's 97, and his show, One Day at a Time, didn't get picked up by Netflix, so he sold it somewhere else. So he had to sign a 3-year contract just now. He's 97.
97.
He said, "Can you believe I have to sign a 3-year contract?" And he's an on-hands exec producer. He does the work.
That's crazy. Not crazy. It's great. Not crazy, but great. Yes.
And he's funny. That's the best part. He's just hilarious. And we have a lot of musicians gather around at his house, and we have every 6 weeks or so a cigar night with a bunch of musicians. And we had John Mayer there one night, my friend, and Stamos, my husband, and other people. And we just smoke cigars and we play music all night, and nobody stops him because he's Norman Lear.
Yeah.
The whole valley gets to hear us all singing. So,
well, I just look back at his collection and the way that he shaped television is amazing.
Oh my God.
I tell you what, Bob, it makes me
everything.
Yeah, it did, and it makes me think about what would have happened had Hulu, as you mentioned earlier, we have Benjamin or Netflix or something like that. Those things existed back in the 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, or whatever, how things dynamically might have changed right now. Because, I mean, it's a really interesting landscape as far as how people, get your product. It's not your average, it's either ABC, NBC, or CBS any longer. I mean, a variety of ways to get people out there.
And you're getting what you want. There's something there for you.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I proposed to my wife. I've been married a year, to Stranger Things. We were watching it on an iPad, but I did pause it, so that's good. But,
that's from the state of Indiana. That took place in the state of Indiana fictitiously.
I didn't know that, and I love that show. And but those, you can get anything. pretty much, and it's going to grow and grow and grow. And networks are going to be called Flamba, and you're never going to know what happened. And then you got your regular networks. Both shows I'm doing. One is for the Nashville Squares that airs tomorrow, the first, and then we'll be on every Friday. That's cable, basic cable, so that's good. And it's owned by Viacom, and then the other one, the ABC one, that'll be a network show. So it's nice to. It's real funny because there's a special I'm on December 8th on ABC where I'm on it with Tom Bergeron and Alfonso talking about 30 years of AFV. But it was AFHV when I hosted it.
And look at the video world now. Everybody's showing videos now. The whole world's about videos now.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
We had no phones. So people, if they wanted to see somebody get hit in the crotch, I was your gatekeeper.
Yes, you were. Yeah. Everybody that got hit in the nuts back in the day, I mean, we got to see that. That's how we found out people got hit in the nuts.
I mean, I was a gift giver.
So Bob Saget with us. Hey, you mentioned, before I let you go, you're going to have a country song. You're going to introduce that to the crowd at Helium coming up this weekend, correct?
Absolutely. And I also got another country song about my dog, but I can't tell you the name of it, but people know it and they sing along. So that's always nice.
I have introduced this before. I have a country song. I don't have lyrics to it, but I have a title. It's called I Leave My Barn Door Open. And it's one of those late-at-night things. She can come on over because my barn door is open.
I like that.
Would you thumbs that up or thumbs that down?
All I had was a title once, but no song, and I can't get over her because she's never under me. That was fun.
See, I've pitched that before, and I can't get anybody to write lyrics for me. I just think it's right there somewhere.
I'll help you. I'm good at those.
I'll leave my barn door open. If you think of it, listen, you're going to be around Indy this weekend, so if you think of any solid lyrics, man, let me know so we can put this thing pen to paper.
Come to the show. I'm going to talk to my publicist and make sure you get the Radio Payola free tickets. No refrigerators like the old days. We used to give away refrigerators. You want a set of steaks? What do you need? You need a suit? What do you want? You want some slacks? But,
it is a pleasure for me. It's the incomparable Bob Saget on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club Friday and Saturday. Get your tickets. It's a great time, and you will enjoy Bob. And I'll see you down there, man. Let me know. I'd love to meet you. Thank you, Bob.
Come back afterward, and we'll come up with those lyrics.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Take care, man.
So Bob Saget on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. That was just for me spectacular. I'm going to leave it at that. Spectacular. Helium Comedy Club Friday and Saturday. Check online for your tickets. I'll give you all the information you need to know, but I'm, again, just going to leave that right there. I finally got somebody to bite on I leave my barn door open, which is awesome. Quick break. More about the Colts. The Pacers' first win last night and a huge matchup coming up on Saturday. How about filling up Memorial Stadium, The Rock, coming up on Saturday? That and more. Back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Right now, save up to $120 off select sets of tires. Only at your local Big O Tires. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Summer is over and cold weather is coming, and Universal Windows Direct will help you keep those heating bills down. Custom made to perform in our climate thanks to aerospace technology called Super Spacer, Universal Windows Direct windows are backed by a true lifetime warranty for as long as you own your home and 30 years to the next homeowner. And right now, for every window you buy, you get the next window free, absolutely no limits, and 0% financing is available for 3 years and free installation. Call 317-659-8191 or go to universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate, and you'll be saying, I love my windows.
When I say you should get your furnace tuned up every year, you might think I'm just blowing hot air. But studies show yearly tune-ups can actually make your furnace last a whole lot longer. So if you haven't had your furnace maintenance this winter, give the experts at 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning a call. It's the best way to make sure your house stays warm this winter and many, many winters to come. And here's some more reasons to call them. 1 Hour Furnace Tune-Ups pinpoint potential problems way ahead of time. You get the regular maintenance, and that can prolong the life of your system. Their techs, more importantly, know Indianapolis well. They know what you may need for special attention in this environment. They're total pros, courteous, respectful of your home and time, and they stand by their work. If you know your system needs repair, they have a straightforward pricing guide, so you'll know what you're paying for before they even start. Right now, just $79 for a furnace tune-up. $79. Now, don't wait for the winter weather to get here. Call my friends at 855-1-HOUR today and schedule a $79 furnace tune-up. 855-1-HOUR Terms and conditions apply. Call for details. License 800-10668.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate to paint, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
So over the years, I had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
Remember, Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
I'd had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here and picking up things in the yard. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Now you can have the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right here in central Indiana for 15% off the regular price.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Here's owner Jim Williams.
This offer's limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's JMV, and I'm so excited to have a new partner with the show, Love Heating and Air Conditioning. John and Chris Love and the rest of their team, some of the best people I know, and they're just about ready to celebrate being in business, get this, 100 years. Right now, I want to give you a JMV special since they're a new part of the show. $64.95 will get you a clean and a check on your furnace, and you'll be ready for the cold weather months ahead at love-hvac.com. Ask for the JMV special, Love Heating and Air Conditioning.
If you're looking for a dependable pre-owned commercial work truck, one name says it all. Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Box trucks, cargo vans, flatbeds. If it's a work truck you need, you'll find it at Indy Trucks. Plus, they're inspected, certified, and come with a 3,000-mile, 3-year repair warranty. Easy to get to and easy to work with at Indy Trucks at 96th and Keystone or IndyTrucks.com. Indy Trucks, we'll be looking for you.
Think you know Colts football, but do you really know what's happening? It's not just football season. It's Venturi season.
Brought to you by the District Tap, craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and now downtown at Georgia Street and Meridian.
Catch the coach every Monday at 4:30 with JMV, with bonus Coach Venturi. Tuesdays on the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe, and later with Dan Dockage on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Well, you're going to have to say that. You're going to have to speak up because I can't hear you.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Yeah, Bob Saget was awesome. Podcast that up, 107.5 The Fan. If anybody's going on Saturday, let me know because I'm going to go and I'm going to go backstage too. Made him. That's going to be awesome. Helium Comedy Club downtown. That's tomorrow and Saturday. If you want to go. Kristen Airy a little bit earlier. Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director. The ATI guys are standing by. I'm going to get Brent Halverson on here in a second, too, and give us our Larceny Bourbon Lock of the Week. We're not on site this week, but I'm going to get the lock from Brent in a little bit. And Bob Saget podcast, 1075thefan.com, but on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline from CBS 4 and Fox 59. Mike Chappell joins us. So what is it? I saw like a big freak out over T.Y. Hilton on Twitter earlier today. What's the latest? Is there anything behind that?
I missed it on Twitter because I heard something. I looked, I didn't see anything.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I made a few calls, and I was told that it was no big deal and nothing was going on. And I'd have to go back and look what Twitter was going, but from what I checked in on it, unless the guy I talked to was blowing smoke up my behind, there's nothing to it. Yeah. And I've had people blow smoke up my behind before, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. I mean, they were the thing I saw, and somebody asked me to look it up, and I looked it up, and then I asked too, and I was told it was no big deal. We'll see. I mean, he missed practice today, correct?
Correct. That's the one thing. I with some of these players, I just can't. I don't trust the injury report to give me any
insight.
Insight because. Yeah, I could just point. T.Y. practiced once the last 6 weeks last year, once, and he played. With some of these guys, and he's missed time, and they've got certain guys. This is not T.Y. necessarily, but Jabal Sherritt's got a Veterans Day, and Anthony Costanzo takes Friday off, and guys don't practice and they play, and then they whatever. So the way Frank is handling the injuries, if guys need time off, he's giving it to them at the risk of maybe not being he would rather than be 100% or as close to 100% healthy and maybe not up to speed practice-wise because you missed practice. So they're really going not overboard, but they're making sure guys are healthy. And you get to this point, and the only guys that are 100% are the guys that aren't playing. The guys it's funny. The guys that are the healthiest right now might be the guys on IR because they're not playing. But with Ty, we'll see. The thing is, this is a different injury. It's on a calf, and he's been bothered by a quad. We'll see. I don't expect him to practice tomorrow just because I don't. But we'll see Sunday. But I was told it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about it being odd, though. And here's one reason why. Like, look at Pierre Desir. 1 week he doesn't practice, he plays. The next week he does practice, he doesn't play. So, yes, you're exactly right.
Yeah, and again, that's not mocking the Colts at all. In the past, you could sort of get a read on who's doing what and who might not and this, that, and the other. Now, you just can't. On our podcast on Fox 59, I was talking at, in the past with Chuck, you sort of had an idea. You just did. But now it's different. And, remember the old Allen Iverson, we're talking practice. Talking practice.
Yep.
Well, as much as they think practice is important, they're gonna try to get these guys healthy. That's why I'm wondering if Pierre, you talked about this year, whether he plays this week. From talking to Frank, when he starts talking, we got a lot of games left. It's a long season. It made me think that he won't play this week because they don't want this to be something that was already lingered. But they don't want this to be where it's, you play, you're 85%, and then you come out of the game on Sunday night and you're 70%, and then you try to get it back. And they don't want that. He wants him to get as close to 100% as he can. And you can't do that if he's still bothered by it and he plays. So I'm sort of not expecting him to play. I think Kahari Willis practiced today with the foot issue. So we all look at the participation injury report, and sometimes you make heads of it, and sometimes you have no idea what it means.
Yeah, certainly the good overrides the bad last weekend because of the win. But did you see any red flags from a Colts standpoint from Denver, playing as well and really taking the Colts to the brink as they did last Sunday?
No, only that this is, and we've talked about this. This is, what is it? They're the first team since 1940 to go 5-2 and have all their games decided by 7 points or fewer. And all I say is get used to it. I just don't see this team being constructed or the way they do things to where 30-14, 30-10, where you're going to, or the other around where they get blown out. I just don't see. Now, maybe that changes when Miami comes in here with their JV team, but I just don't see this team. I think that's what you're going to see. I think Pittsburgh is going to be a carbon copy of what we saw Sunday. I think they got a good defense, and their offense is atrocious. You can have Mason Rudolph. I just thought his numbers make him look like he's having a better season than he is. And if James Conner didn't practice again today with a shoulder injury, I just think this is going to be an ugly 19-16 game. I think initially in the week I thought the Steelers would win because, gosh, it's the Steelers and it's Heinz Field. But this is not a very good Steelers team. It is not. They kind of got their act together. They won 3 of the last 4. And look who they've beaten. Cincinnati's in there and Miami's in there. So I just think these are the Colts. It's a different team. This isn't Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning and 30 points, rolling out of bed. So I think what we saw against Denver, what we saw against them, I just think that's what we're going to see on Sunday. That's how this team's built. And that's not a knock.
I think that's week to week with the Colts, though, because they have been really good. You could argue they're the third best, maybe even the second best in some eyes of the AFC right now, but they can lose. I mean, the whole any given Sunday thing so adequately applies to this team because, I mean, anybody can beat them, and they can also beat anybody depending upon how things go for them.
When you talk about the AFC, I'm looking forward to New England and Baltimore. I want to see how legit Baltimore is. I just want to see because Belichick is going to do something to keep Lamar Jackson from going off, whether it's a lead pipe, Jeff Gurley, lead pipe to the knee. But he's so good at not letting that guy, whoever it is, beat him. He makes somebody else do it. And when I know people are PO'd about the Colts are like, 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever, in a lot of these power rankings. I'm not sure I'd have them much higher than 9 or 8 or 9 or 7, maybe, because the NFC's loaded. It's got some really good teams in it. I understand people, Kansas City's above them in some of these, and Houston. When Kansas City's healthy, they're pretty good. Houston, I would argue the Colts ought to be above Houston, but those are just polls and I give people something to talk about. But this is a legit team. I just think it's going to be such a grind most weeks because of the way they want to play, the way they, we're not going to see a whole bunch of 300-yard games from Jacoby Brissett because that's not the way this team is going to work. It's just not. I think he proved that he can do it. But I just think they're going to be grinds, which isn't a bad thing as long as you don't, step on yourself and turnovers and all that. So it makes it interesting, but it just what it does is it gives you a smaller room for error when you're playing, tight games like this, and your style of play makes it that way. But so far, so good.
Mike Chappell, CBS 4 and Fox 59. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I saw some things on Jacoby Brissett. Has he been a lot better than what you thought he was going to be when 2 weeks prior to the start of the season transpired and we all started asking that question?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, I don't know how much better it was going to be, but he was my big question. I mean, he should have been. No matter what the team said and everybody else, those of us who saw him during the off season, he was okay but inconsistent in training camp and preseason. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot there to give you major confidence. What he had, I mean, really the lasting impression was the last drive of the preseason when he took the team on a touchdown. But beyond that, it was just sort of you weren't sure. He's played well. I mean, he's not been the problem. He had the bad game against Oakland, I think it was. But he's played well. Was it 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, making the right plays for the most part?
Yep.
And the one thing that's been missing, and I remember apparently Chris Hagan took a lot of hell because he put a poll out there: if you could drop Andrew Luck in this lineup, a 2018 midseason Andrew Luck in this lineup, or leave with Jacoby Brissett, what would you do? Well, I know what I'd do. I mean, gosh, I'd take Andrew Luck, and if that's a bash at Jacoby Brissett, I'm sorry, but Andrew Luck, he gave you a chance to do something really, really special. He did. I'm sorry he did. Now, whether Jacoby Brissett can do that, I don't know. I think the ceiling would be higher with Andrew Luck, but we don't know what the ceiling is with Jacoby Brissett. We just don't. And he's still sort of growing into the job. This isn't his first year at all, but I tend to throw out 2017, although it was a great learning process for him. But I think he's still growing into the position of being the guy. So I think he's done more than enough. He's not the reason they're not doing more. So I think he has eased a lot of concerns by how he's played, and it could have gone the other way.
Mike Chappell of CBS 4 and Fox 59, and he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, and we had Chris Hagan on a couple of days ago, and he got absolutely shredded by folks out there. Absolutely.
I understand it. But how can you not think, that's what we always think about what if. Because that's, we got a lot of time on our hands, and some of us are idiots and all that, but that's, I think it's something worth talking about. Not that it's ever going to happen, because I think a lot's done. I mean, done. But again, I think Jacoby was put in a difficult situation, and he's handled it. I think there are some quarterbacks that wouldn't have handled this so well, and I just think that to have them 5-2 with him playing well and the defense playing better and better. We've not seen the best of this defense that we have. It's getting better. It's getting healthier. And I'm just thinking that for this offense, I think this is what we get. I think it's going to be the 22, 24 points, most of the time. And maybe if somebody turns the ball over, you can get to the 30s. But this isn't a 30-point a game offense. It's just not.
It's Mike Chappell. Always a pleasure on a Thursday, my friend. I appreciate you. Have fun giving out all the candy over in the Grove tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to the back rooms while I'm finishing up my work. I'll let my wife take care of it.
Yeah, you're going to turn the light off here in about 15 minutes. I know that.
Yeah, I'll snarl at him. So I'll go do my work.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hashtag AskATI. Any of your aches and pains questions right now, you could get a gift card from the Colts Pro Shop coming up on the other side. The ATI guys in studio to close out a Thursday next.
Join JMV at JMV Sucks, but his concert doesn't, featuring Yacht Rock Review, Friday, January 10th at the Marah. Listen to JMV this week for your chance to win a pair.
Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. The world is changing. Isn't it time smoking changed too? Vuse Alto is a vapor product offering you a satisfying alternative to cigarettes. Simple to use, surprisingly quiet, and impressively powerful. Our best vapor yet at our best price ever, 99 cents, plus tax at participating retailers. 99-cent offer applies to Alto device. Pods sold separately. Underage sale prohibited.
Did you know that online sports betting is now legal in Indiana? And online sportsbooks have limited time offers available right now, like exclusive bets and deposit match bonuses. At PlayUSA.com, we compare offers from top online sportsbooks so that you can skip the work and get to betting. Go to PlayUSA.com/radio today and choose from thousands of dollars in bonuses, all of them reviewed and rated. Don't bet without your bonus. Visit PlayUSA.com/radio now. 21 and over, Indiana customers only. All gamblers bet at their own risk. Winning is not guaranteed. Gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER for resources and to learn more.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend. But watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
Bowling, 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 keep them balls a-rolling. Bowling, bowling, bowling. Royal Pin.
Royal Pin Entertainment is a great place to upgrade your office holiday party this year. Get a great tasting food buffet with several delicious menu options, including pizza, barbecue, and the tailgate. Unlimited soft drinks, games of bowling, and shoes, all for as low as $27 per person. Become the office hero by scoring bowling, food, and fun for your entire team. Upgrade your fun by adding drinks from their wonderful selection of adult beverages, craft beer, laser tag, or games from the arcade. With 3 convenient locations around the Indianapolis area, Royal Pin Entertainment is ready to host your group and help make your end-of-year festivities memorable. Email events@royalpin.com or visit royalpin.com to book your group's party today.
Royal Pin, bowling, bowling. Royal Pin.
Let's talk for a minute about stock market volatility. Hi, Rick Edelman here. You can expect to see market volatility, but don't let it frighten you out of your investment and retirement accounts. Now, I'm not making light of volatility. We get it. It's unsettling. But volatility is really simply a routine part of long-term investing. And the best way for you to avoid stock market volatility? Don't have all your money in stocks. That's why here at Edelman Financial Engines, we're careful to give our clients highly diversified portfolios, placing only a portion of assets into stocks. This helps give you the confidence that stock market volatility is really nothing to get concerned about. We've been helping thousands of clients just like you for 33 years. So come talk with us at Edelman Financial Engines and let us help put your market worries aside. Call us at 888-PLAN-RIC. That's 888-PLAN-RIC. Or visit us at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com.
Hey, it's Chuck Jones from Bill Estes Chevrolet, and I'm here with TK. So excited about the football season with some hot new deals.
Wait, football season's almost over.
Not that football, TK. I'm talking about the real football. Just like these real deals. Up to $4,000 more for your trade and Silverados from $199 a month.
My football is real, but those deals sound pretty real too.
Find new roads to Bill Estes Chevy or online at BillEstesChevy.com.
Just ask for the real football deal.
He means the TK deal.
The Colts hit the road to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coverage Sunday morning at 10 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
It's Jim Perry. Now talk to him, damn it.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, happy Halloween to you. What a busy day so far. Kristen Neri. Pacers win their first last night in Brooklyn. Tomorrow night at home versus the Cavaliers. Fred Glass, IU Athletic Director. Mike Chappell moments ago, Colts-Pittsburgh matchup, kind of clarifying some things regarding T.Y. Hilton and the hearsay going on in social media today and the awesomeness that was and is Bob Saget. Bob Saget's going to be in town Saturday and tomorrow night, a matter of fact, Helium Comedy Club. You'll see me on Saturday. I'm going to go down there and meet him coming up Saturday night at about 10:30, so if you guys are out and about, check us out. But in studio right now, we got the guys from ATI Physical Therapy, per usual, on this Halloween. Arnold Henry, Doctor, IU Sports Medicine, along with Brad Howell, ATI Physical Therapy in studio. Fellas, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Happy Halloween to everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Good to have you back. Dr. Henry, good to have you back. Mr. Howell, you got some trick-or-treating stuff happening tonight, fellas?
Absolutely. I've got the only Georgia Bulldog dressed up as, I have no idea why my son has a Georgia football uniform on, but on the south side of Indianapolis, he's the only kid. He's a Jake Fromm fan, so Mom ironed Fromm on the back of his jersey.
Fromm fan.
QB1 documentary series on Netflix. These kids love that, so he became obsessed with him as a high schooler.
I gotcha. Dr. Henry, what you doing tonight?
Nothing nearly exciting as that. Pass out candy.
Hey, where do you want to start here as far as week number 9 is concerned, fellas?
Yeah, I think, starting with the Colts, I was at the game on Sunday, saw that Danico Autry injury and wasn't really sure what was going on. Obviously, it looks like it's his neck, so you're hoping it's more of just a slight strain and you're able to get him back on the field. It's not something more serious like a disc injury.
Yeah, I was thinking about T.Y. Hilton with a calf situation, too. Limited yesterday, no practice today. There were some rumors floating around. That can be an issue for a speed and quickness wide receiver, can it, Dr. Henry?
Yeah, definitely. The calf is obviously one of our push-off muscles, and it's going to be definitely needed for his position with speed, quickness, pivoting. And so if he's not able to do that, he's not going to be able to perform correctly.
Hashtag AskATI, by the way. If you guys have anything for your fantasy team or if you have anything regarding you and injury concerns that you want to ask the question. By the way, too, if we ask your question on the air, you might win if Kyle picks you a gift card courtesy of the Colts Pro Shop. Looks like Kenny Moore's got a knee situation, too. Here's what's weird. So Pierre Desir, week before last, didn't practice and then played. And then last week did practice and didn't play. He has a hamstring situation, guys. How difficult can that be able to deal with and gauge? And then if you want to be as healthy as possible, what's the idea about holding him out whenever you can to try to give him the best opportunity to heal? Dr. Henry.
Well, the main thing, particularly with hamstring injuries with his position, is getting rid of the scar tissue. A lot of scar tissue can build up, which is going to prolong his healing phase. And so if they can get that scar tissue out, get a good amount of blood flow there, blood carries healing factors, then they should be able to get him back in as quickly as possible.
What is the period of time normally that it takes to just completely get over a hamstring injury?
It
just varies?
It varies.
Yeah.
And, how deep the hamstring is torn, what part of the hamstring is torn, whether it's the tendon or the muscle. Muscle heals a lot faster than tendon. Tendon's going to heal a lot less because it's not as much blood supply.
All right. What do you rehab? What's the rehab for that hamstring wise? To be careful with it, Brad, because that's a touchy situation too.
It is touchy. A lot of soft tissue work to like Dr. Henry said, getting back the blood flow to that area. You actually want to control swelling too, because like you mentioned, a strain is a micro tear, and there's different grades of strains as well. So you want to control that bleeding that's happening within that muscle and get the range of motion back, and then eventually you got to get these guys to lengthen that hamstring and load it again so that it's got stronger ability to accept those tensile forces.
Brad Howell, ATI Physical Therapy. Dr. Arnold Henry is the doctor at IU Sports Medicine, joining us as far as hashtag AskATI for any of your questions, too. All right, Pittsburgh's got James Conner, and he was injured late in that game for Pittsburgh. He's got a shoulder situation, guys. Dr. Henry, let's start with you. I mean, this is something where I believe they think he is going to play, but could be somewhat of an issue.
Yeah, so it's supposed to possibly a AC joint injury.
Mm-hmm.
So with those, it depends on the grade of the AC injury. So if it's a grade 1 or 2, then he should be able to play, but he has to get over the pain. Grade 3 creates a situation of instability, and so that'll be a little bit more risky to play.
What do you think about the shoulder, Brad?
Yeah, if it's a lower grade, a lot of them, there's not a lot of structural damage, so sometimes you'll get a local anesthetic that helps them feel better. But, most importantly, you want like the cuff and everything that's surrounding that kind of collarbone, AC-type joint area to be mobile. Before you get him back out on the field.
Hashtag AskATI. Here's a question regarding Adam Thielen. I don't know if you have Adam Thielen on this paper or not. I don't think you do. Hamstring injury. We've been talking about hamstrings so far. Back-to-back practices. He's been in full participation, guys. He's wearing a sleeve. So I'm thinking he's going to play right now. But talk a little bit about the sleeve that he's got on now. He's trying to. What's that entail? What's that do?
Yeah, I think the big thing is just compression. Anytime that you compress an area, you add warmth to it. It's in theory going to increase the blood flow to that area. And it allows them from a sensory standpoint too. If anytime you have pain and you stimulate or compress those the area around that, it's going to decrease your perception of pain. So both probably are playing into it.
Yeah. What do you advise as far as hamstring injuries and working your way back, Dr. Henry?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people's go-to is the Rice theory, so rest, ice, compression, elevation. And if you're able to go in and stay mobile and protect yourself with that, then I don't think it's too bad of an injury. If there is still an adequate amount of pain afterwards, then you got to take it a little bit more serious.
Hashtag AskATI. Dr. Henry, do you have mallet finger going on right there?
Look at his diagnostic abilities
that's
over
a good
here.
Eye, yeah.
Is that a mallet
That
finger?
is mallet finger, yeah.
What happened there? Hey, look.
No.
Hey, you guys tell me I'm
Dr.
not learning
John,
stuff
man.
here.
Jeez.
You guys tell me I'm not learning something.
No, you definitely got me.
I had mallet finger 2 years ago.
Really?
And I wore that for about 5 seconds. I got pissed and just said, screw this. 5 seconds.
5 seconds. I feel like taking this off.
It was what was weird. I was playing basketball and it felt my grip was screwed up completely. I mean, you lose feeling there in the middle,
Yes.
don't you? Mallet finger.
That's the whole purpose
Explain
of it.
mallet finger as I just described. What a great diagnosis by me. I'm getting smarts.
I think he's
Getting
going to take my job.
good.
You might, man. Watch
Well, see,
out.
I was looking at your watch because I thought your watch is a badass looking watch, and then I saw the mallet finger working. So, how long has this been happening?
This occurred Monday. So mallet finger is basically an extensor tendon injury of any of the fingers.
Uh-huh.
And so when the finger is set in extension and there's a forced flexion on the outside or distal part of the finger, then the tendon tears, and so that's what happened to me. I wish I had a heroic story for you. But
Were you playing? What were you doing? Playing a little hoopage or something?
I would love to make something up for you.
No. What are you doing? Get it caught in the door? On the car door?
Yeah. We'll say we got it caught in the door.
You should have seen the other guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really good. Right. Did you do that yourself?
I did do this, yeah.
Oh, man. See, I need to be able to do that myself. No offense, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to be able to try to do that myself. Hey, how can people get a hold of you, Dr. Henry?
Oh, yeah. So I'm at Methodist Hospital, 4th floor suite. Our phone number is 317-944-9400. Just ask for my name.
What about you, Brad Howell?
ATIPT.com. Feel free to walk in any of our Central Indiana locations.
You guys were just impressed with the mallet finger diagnosis.
I was impressed.
though,
That was impressive, man.
Man, that is so good right there. It is. Hey, you guys are awesome. Have a great Halloween.
Hey, you too, John.
Out there. Good luck
Thank
with the
you,
mallet
Kyle.
finger right
Appreciate
there.
it. 7 more weeks.
It's a badass watch. I love that watch. I go, man.
Makes it all worth it.
I need that. I need to change mine over to digital, I think. I can't read this any longer. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
ATIPT.com for all of your physical therapy needs. Guys in studio is always absolutely awesome. Chris Denary, Fred Glass, Mike Chappell, Bob Saget, the ATI Guys podcast, 1075thefan.com. Tomorrow, Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, Bud Light Blue Friday. Dolphins Colts tickets to give away. Join me there. Have a safe and a fantastic Halloween. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 FM The Fan.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Hero Loan is the nation's fastest growing VA loan program. And why would